Yeah, welcome back in, folks, to round 3 of the 2024 RaceFactory Gaming National Championship live here on Star Your Systems TV. I am Kellen Brower. He is Andrew Wood. Just the two of us back in the studio this week. No Todd Gutierrez, but hey, we're back.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted, but I got a little bit more room on the couch this time.
A little bit more room. I believe we are streaming live on YouTube tonight as well. I'm trying to make that work. It was a little bit of a last-minute rush job, so apologies if you're trying to join us on the YouTube stream and you're not seeing it just yet. But if you're over here on Twitch, good to see you guys as always. Looks like that has gone up okay, so great to see you guys here. But yeah, round 3 of the Nationals, Thunder Valley, Andrew Wood. We're at elevation, theoretically speaking, but this is a track that I feel like, you know, in this game, the elevation doesn't affect the bikes at all, but the track itself is still always quite a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of up and down hills. This track built on a hillside, so a lot of tricky downhills that get really rutted, but also very fast. And then there are some tight sections where these guys are kind of fighting for power and trying to pull their way up a hill. So momentum is key here, and it's always a really good track. So really excited for the racing tonight.
Definitely very excited for it. And we've seen two pretty interesting races thus far this year. We thought it might be kind of a wash with what Payson Johnson delivered at the opening round. Come back the next week, and it's a bit of a mixed bag between that and the 450 class. And then the 250 class seems like anybody can win every time they drop the gate.
Yeah, the first motos of the year in both classes really scared us, but now that we've gone through 4 of the 22 we're going to get in each class, we're really seeing some diversity, and I like it because we don't really know who's going to win at any given point, and it really comes down to the starts and the great rides these guys can put together. Absolutely.
Let's jump into our intermission screen here and quickly run through qualifying. We're going to get Consi's going on the track here in just a minute, but it looks like the 450 class saw Pablo Vial go fastest at a 2:02.203, Seth Shirley 2:02.7, and then, man, what a gap back to Alexis Leclerc, 2:05 flat. So those guys laying down the absolute burners. Payson Johnson only 2:06.9. I say that, I mean, he's hauling ass, but we normally see him go 2:02, 2:01 or something ridiculous. So yeah, Pablo Vial and Seth Shirley got into a war apparently, huh?
Yeah, pretty surprising too on this track. I'm trying to think of something that can separate these guys to almost the tune of 3 seconds away from Alexis Leclerc there in third. And so going to be really interesting when the gate drops, if these guys get some good starts to kind of see what they're doing differently than everyone. But clearly they've found something. And man, I think after a qualifying time like that, you really feel like you have a chip on your shoulder that you got to back that up.
Absolutely. And man, I feel like Pablo Vial's coming to play this year, dude. He looked really good at Hangtown last week. He's obviously been looking really good this week. So that's kind of cool to see another face that can mix it up in this 250 class. Or in the 450 class, I should say. In the 250 class, Seth Carr fastest at a 2:04.3, Cade Matherly 2:05.5, Leitzel, Sullivan, again, Partillo almost won last week. We're seeing kind of more of those similar names up at the front of the field in this 250 class as well. And not that it's a breakaway, but maybe these guys are becoming the established core.
Yeah, I do like to see round 3, we are starting to see consistent names kind of up front, and people that have been, you see kind of like Holty and Tharp and stuff a little bit further back in qualifying, and they're kind of the ones that have been in and out of the mix. But Partillo and Matherly and Carr, those are the guys that have been there up pretty consistently. So I like that we're starting to see a little bit of a group separate themselves, but it's a larger group than we normally see. Sometimes it's just 1 or 2 guys, and it can get kind of boring pretty quick. This one still feels like there's a pretty mixed bag here.
Absolutely. So, yeah, this 250 class is going to be fun to watch tonight here at Thunder Valley. Let's quickly go over the championship standings just real quick as we get into our 450 standings. As much of a mixed bag as it is, Payson Johnson has been solid through the first 2 rounds, whereas everyone else has been up and down. So Johnson does lead on 90 points. But, yeah, I think everyone else now, after last week, seeing that Johnson wasn't perfect necessarily, there's a little bit more of like, okay, maybe there's something to play here.
Yeah, definitely a crack in his armor that we kind of saw last week. Even though he ended up with 2 decent finishes, he can definitely have those motos where he's a little bit off. So you just have to get a good start and try to stay consistent. If you're any of those guys, you are trailing, but the points deficit isn't too big. Remember, every time if you go 1-1 and he goes 2-2, that's 6 points. So you can really take a chunk out of it. it's all about just finding that consistency for the guys chasing him.
Absolutely. All right, 250 class standings real quick before we jump into our consolation races. Seth Carr up 7 points on Cade Matherly. Logan Leitzel 14 back. Tharp Sullivan still within a moto distance. So again, like we said, that kind of core group seems to be breaking away just a little bit. But I mean, like even a guy like Balzer has shown speed. Obviously, Partolo last week was really strong. Holt ran second at the opening round for a long time. So there's reason to believe that, there's going to be some breakthrough rides throughout this field. And while the championship fight goes on, we might have a mixed bag of moto winners every week.
Yeah, and I like that. You never really know who's going to win coming up to the gate, and maybe that'll change as the year goes on. These guys get a little bit more comfortable, but being able to see a guy that qualified 15th come out and win a moto is always fun. So I like that this class seems to be a little bit more of an open race and a little bit more less separated, I guess, between the guys.
Yep, absolutely. All right, that is going to be our qualifying overview here. Let's take a look at this track and jump in, get ready for these consolation races here tonight. Looks like we only got one guy still on the track, so perhaps, there we go, 250 Consi getting loaded up right now, so we're going to drop the gate here shortly. So while we do that, I'm going to try something new tonight with the Twitch chat as well. And when we get these names loaded up in the 250 consolation race, we'll go over it. But as you guys have probably seen, you guys generate channel points as you sit in here and watch the streams and stuff like that. And most people like to use channel points on Hydrate. Yeah. Get us a little bit liquored up sometimes. They'll use Stretch and some other things. But tonight we're going to try what's called predictions. And each race, I think, we'll load something into the chat room to have you guys predict, and you can bet your channel points to win more channel points. Now, right now, you're not going to really do anything with those yet. I'm going to try to come up with some things that you can use channel points for. But right now, if you want to just bet channel points and stack them up a little bit, that's going to be the plan that we're going to try tonight. I don't know that it's going to 100% work, but that is the plan. And everyone's hydrating, so I'll drink my water. I don't have anything else.
Todd was one of them. Yeah, we're on a water diet here.
We're on a water diet right now, but so we are going to try the betting tonight. It's called predictions, like I said, and I think what we'll do is for the consies, we'll like list 2 or 3 names we think will win a consi, and then have a fourth option be other. You can bet your channel points on either of those options. I think you can bet up to like 250,000 channel points, and okay. I don't remember exactly how it is that you win the points back, or it comes from the feed of the points I think that's generated. But we'll do that. For our whole shot winners, I think we'll do that to spice up the Design Lab Co. whole shot win as well. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool, right? Like, get these people a little bit more involved.
Yeah, I think it's fun, and we might figure out eventually which ones, if it's too many to do every whole shot and every winner and all this stuff. But where you guys, we always kind of pick our Design Lab Co. whole shot winners, and then everyone else always throws there in chat and is like, oh, this guy's gonna do it, this guy's gonna do it. So now it lets those guys kind of get a little bit of a fun reward or do something different with their points before the moto. So I think that'll be fun, and we'll figure out and find some good ways we can do that.
Yeah, all right, taking a look at the consi list just real quick up here. Yeah, do you just want to maybe pick 3 names out here that are coming off the page at you? Like, I feel like Talon Zollers. I was going
to throw out the Zollers,
Talon Zollers,
and JR Reyes, and then there's a Trent Adams in there.
Okay, Trent Adams. So Talon Zollers, JR Reyes, and Trent Adams. Is that going to be the ones that we'll have as our potential winners of the consi here?
Yeah. Okay,
so I'm going to type those in. But yeah, I think it could be one of those guys. I think you're right. And then we'll have another option as well. Who was the third one you said? Trent Adams? Trent Adams and other. And let's see how this goes. We're going to give you guys 2 minutes to vote. And let's see how this works out for you guys. Prediction has started. We have the abilities to select between these guys, win channel points if you make the correct prediction. So let's see how this works. And again, I hope I'm doing it the right way.
So I'm picking JR Reyes, and I'm going to throw in edit. I'm going to change my 10 to 100, and then cast my prediction for JR Reyes.
So right now we got, so I'm watching this live, and I'm going to get an overlay here at some point, but 6,000 760 channel points already laid down on
Whoa.
Talon Zollers. 1,100 channel points on JR Reyes. Well, now we're at 2,150 for Trent Adams. 7,000. Now 8,000 for others. So you guys think the other option? We got a lot of people on the Zollers train, but there's going to be some other winners out there potentially.
This is pretty cool because I could see that Braden Tharp was the one who voted the most amount of points on Talon Zollers, and there's 6.7 thousand wagered on him, 1.1 thousand on JR Reyes, 2,000 on Trent Adams, and 8,000 on the field. So that's a pretty fun thing that you could see.
So that timer is coming down. We do have 23 riders going to the gate. We'll run you through them real quick. Joey Bradstreet, Tyler Blowers, Hunter Ash, Chris Young, Logan Mortberg, Alex Zellner, Carson Bolin, Trent Adams, Nick Niles, Sonny Spicer, Talon Zollers, as mentioned, Emil Hool, Carl Novak, Timmy Briscoe, Mark Hondas Feitosa, JR Reyes, Caden Speck, Carl Robitaille, Harrison Gafford, Austin Schaefer, Mason Call, Jesse Furtado, and Jonathan Hernandez, all heading to the gate right now. So any one of those names will jump off at the page of for you guys. Maybe put some channel points down, and we'll see who wins. Ultimately, whoever wins this will give the channel points back to whoever. If it's other, I'll click the other option. I think this is how this is going to work. Again, my first time doing it. It's going to be a loose program here. All right, so looks like those are all now in, and
yeah, that's pretty
I will
cool.
choose the outcome. If 52% of you said an other rider will win other than the ones that we laid out, but I like that. You guys chose some different ones. We'll get to our live screen here now and pull up all of these things on the screen to get ready to drop the gate, but
that's fun. I think it's cool because the Consi winner is kind of a little tricky, because it's like, okay, there's so many guys, right? I saw some names, Tim Briscoe and these other guys that I'm like, ooh, that could be a good one to pick other, but I think it will be fun too when we get the whole shot or something, or we see top three guys separate themselves, in the field, and it's like they've won, all these three have won every single moto, but do you think someone's going to be a first-time winner? We get to start to kind of see that. And it's not just kind of a shot in the dark with the Consi. So if this works well, though, I think it'll work good for whole shots and moto winners and stuff.
Yeah, so I am a little bit curious, though. So it says other, and 10,900 channel points were bet for other. 10 different people bet, and let's see.
So it says return ratio 1 to 1.9. So I think if you wagered, you'll get whatever that is.
Yeah, so B-Dog Simmerer bet 5,890 channel points, so he would get 1.92, times 1.192 or whatever it is of that. So, but then if someone,
I'm on JR Reyes with one other guy,
right, and that's 19,
I got 19 to 1 return
19
ratio,
times return. Yeah, so
it helps when if you pick someone that not everyone's picking, but you can still get a little bit of return. So is this the race?
I don't think so. I thought that there was a warm-up lap, but anyway, if this is look, these guys are, that was, if he's doing that on purpose, I don't know what's going on. We got wheelies going on. I don't think it's a race. Dualies? Oh!
Clip his heads later, Whisker Biscuit. And he's down.
Checkers would be so proud at that air wheelie, though. He didn't land it, but that was pretty good. Oh, man. All right, so it's kind of cool too because now in my chat room I can see what each person selected. So B-Dog comes up as he selected number 4, which is the other option. And as you guys
I
chat,
see that too. Awesome.
Yeah. So this would be kind of cool to see how this plays out. And then, like I said, we'll probably do whole shot picks as well. But here we go, 250 Consolation Race. 4 riders will transfer through 4 laps. And this is everyone that was 37th back on qualifying. So who wins the bets? Let's find out. 250 Consi underway at Thunder Valley. The drag race up the hill has commenced. Into turn number 1 we go. It's a Yamaha poking the nose out. It's a 47 who got there first, but a Cowie up the inside. Marcondes Feitosa grabs the whole shot. He's out here leading this Consi. Caden Speck in second. Trent Adams up in the 3 spot early on. He was one of our options that you could select, but it is Feitosa who is leading up the hill on the first lap.
Yeah, Feitosa with a good start there, separating himself early, but these short races, you got a lot of pressure right behind him, a big fat group behind him. Ooh, someone going into the bales right there. He's going down there. But this group behind him, this top 4, pretty tight now. So but they are separated themselves a little bit. So they just got to survive these ruts on the opening laps. You can see this now.
Yeah, you can see everyone's just kind of skating around ever so slightly, waiting for the track to maybe wear in after a lap or two. But Feitosa working his magic in the race lead early on. Trent Adams in second, Caden Speck third, and Timmy Briscoe with a good start in fourth. So Reyes in the 5 spot early on, and Jonathan Hernandez goes down, takes a Yamaha rider with him, Harrison Gafford laying it down, and going to pick it up a few spots back. So already some separation for our lead group. Briscoe's still holding on to the final transfer spot early in this thing, as everyone just tries to find their footing. They don't want to crash early on, because then you're going to have a long race ahead of you.
Yeah, I know. Especially it's in such a short race, though. It can feel so long if you go down early and all you're doing is fighting back and pushing your hardest. And a little bit more room than a 250 LCQ to kind of work your way back up there, but you really don't want to go down early. And these guys up front, most of them have done a pretty good job of staying up and staying close. So I think anyone could really win here. Briscoe getting a huge bobble in the old mechanics area. It's super rough there before you go into this right-hander with a bunch of ruts and drop down. But they've changed this up from a big whip tabletop there and another couple extra turns that can get rutted and made tricky for these guys on the track. Yeah,
so J.R. Reyes goes by into the 4th and final transfer spot as we jump up past the mechanics area, but Briscoe wants it right back. The 91 machine for MSK has closed right up onto J.R. Reyes. This is going to be our battle for the final transfer spot, at least early in the runnings of this one. And through the waves in the finish line section we go. Reyes high centering on that rut, and Briscoe's got a line up the inside. It's a drag race up the hill. Briscoe's trying to swoop the outside, but not going to get there. Reyes controls that preferred inside option as we drop through the Studio 8 hole shot line, and Briscoe goes back to work once again.
Yeah, that section was really tricky trying to pass up the start uphill. You really have to get a good drive. Even though we saw Reyes blow that corner, he gets has the inside and doesn't get pulled because it's such a long way around to make that move and close it out from the outside there. J.R. Reyes almost lost the spot there going up that hill as well, made a small mistake, but was able to gather it back together. And he's just right now trying to push and separate himself from Briscoe and get back to this lead pack, work his way up. He doesn't need to do it. He's already in the final transfer spot, but if he wants to make my my bet come true on him, then he's got to work his way up and get up to the number 1 spot.
So Ray is weaving his way through, going to tuck to that outside and back across to the inside line. Jumping down the hill very nicely. Battle for second brewing ever so slightly. Trent Adams, actually this is the battle for the lead, I should say. So someone went down and didn't see who it was. Feitosa still leading. Trent Adams hot on his tail. And then J.R. Reyes, Timmy Briscoe, 3rd and 4th. So honestly, I think we did a pretty good job picking the riders. We got 2 of the 4 right now in transfer spots, and Trent Adams is going for the lead.
Yeah, I definitely missed on Feitosa, but I kind of mentioned Briscoe later, and I saw some names that I might have missed. But Feitosa just taking that really good start that he had, and he had a little bit of a gap, and just holding on to it now here, almost to the end of lap 2. But Trent Adams does look like he might have a little bit more speed. We see these rough sections, though. Anything can change because they get so rough. If you mess up your line or come into a corner without the right speed, you can lose it all a lot of time in one section. As Feitosa almost goes down there, then Adams kind of stabs into that corner. They kind of keep the same gap, but these guys are making small mistakes everywhere, and one of them is going to give soon.
Feitosa up into the finish line jump to complete lap number 2 this time by halfway mark of our 250 Consolation Race, kicking off the evening here at Thunder Valley. Feitosa still leads. Trent Adams, now Emil Hool and Hunter Ash have moved into 3rd and 4th. So Hool on the RBT Honda has Ash on the Dr. Do Racing Gas right behind him. They have passed Timmy Briscoe and J.R. Reyes. Here's Briscoe and here is Reyes. Doesn't seem like it was a fall-off crash for them because they're not that far back, but perhaps it was, and both of them losing those transfer spots at the same time, not ideal.
Yeah, I wonder if they got into each other or something, but allowing Briscoe to get up, and now he's kind of working his way up. He's in a good spot, though, and Reyes is now chasing, and he was in a very comfortable spot up front there and didn't have to worry about anything. And now when you're on the outside looking in, same with Briscoe. Briscoe's kind of always been there, though, and Reyes, bummer for him to lose that spot up front. But, I mean, can't Briscoe be doing that, and he goes down a big hill. It looks flat right here from this camera, but we're on the side of a giant hill, as you can see now. So that could have been a lot worse there, but he's able to save it, only lose a couple positions.
Yep, and Zollers was able to slide by. He's been on the charge right now, is Talon Zollers, as he flies forward and now puts the pressure on JR Reyes trying to get into fifth. Both these guys, really, they do need to work together. They are 5 seconds off our final transfer spot, and at the moment, neither of them will be racing the motos tonight. So while Zollers pushes up to Reyes, pressure's really on Hunter Ash, or Butters, if you like to go by that name, who is in the fourth and final transfer spot. He is kind of all by himself, 4 seconds behind Emil Hull, and got a 5 second or about 6 second gap now, jumping down the hill, sending it back to JR Reyes. So if you're in his situation here, you have some breathing room behind you. Are you sending it to try to get a gap where if you crash, it's okay? Or do you try to manage this gap and bring it to the checker flag?
No, if I'm him, I'm riding as smooth as possible. And maybe that line's not as big or scary as it looks from the camera angle that we have. And it looks like you have a big outside to jump to. But I don't know if I'd be doing that jump down the hill into that corner that we just saw Butters doing. I think I would just be kind of taking about 2 seconds off my lap time and just going at a little bit more of a sight lap kind of pace and bringing this thing home. But he's looking good and haven't really seen him make a mistake since we've been on him. So I think he's doing just fine right now. And those guys behind him, they're too far to catch him just on lap times alone if he just keeps it smooth.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep it on 2 wheels by the looks of it. 4 seconds now is the gap as Reyes and Zollers both went faster than him, but they're going to need a little bit more in the tank. Big shout out to Emil Hull, who just laid down a 2:10. He's going after Trent Adams for second place, scrubbing by him on the uphill. And Emil Hull wants to take this race win. He would be part of the other category of winners, who, for those of you who bet, and so would Feitosa. So the other category looking pretty good right now, but Trent Adams trying to hold it down for everybody else who bet in this one. As, yeah, I think Hull's trying to go for the lead on this last lap.
I mean, I think he just maybe knows that he's got a big enough gap behind him, and also that win, it's only one better gate pick, but it definitely is a confidence booster. If you kind of start gelling with the track and you're up front, why not just go for the win? As long as you're not pushing too far out of your comfort zone. We see him miss a rut right there, but just hop right into that next one, get it clean, and doesn't really lose any time. But man, he's absolutely cruising right now.
Yeah, his fastest lap time that he just laid down is 3 or 4 seconds
Feitosa
faster.
down in the corner. Sorry.
Yeah, and he does take the lead on Feitosa, as you mentioned, but he was 3 or 4 seconds faster than everybody else on the track. So past Trent Adams blew away from him, and now Feitosa lays it down on the final lap, and this is Emil Hull's race to lose coming down the hill back to Hunter Ash, and he is pretty much locked into the 4 spot now. He's got 9 seconds back to Talon Zollers. JR Reyes went down. Looks like he will not finish this race. So a tough break for him. But yeah, Emil Hull, man, he is cooking and might be one of those guys that sneakily has to go to the LCQ, but then races his way into a good position here tonight.
I definitely, you see those a lot in outdoors, and the gate pick's not as huge than it is in Supercross. I think some guys can qualify really well and pick an outside gate pick just because they think it gives them a better chance. And honestly, I think Emil Hull, the way he's riding right now, yeah, he could be the guy that goes to the LCQ and he finishes inside the top 10 here tonight.
He might do that, and he has done a great job of making it through here tonight. Emil Hull is going to win the 250 Consolation Race here at Thunder Valley with a front flip over the line to boot. Trent Adams finishes up in second, Feitosa third, and Hunter Ash did exactly what you said he needed to do. Just keep it upright and bring it home. 4th place, but makes the motos the final gate pick of the evening, but he'll just be happy to be in. Zollers misses out by 5 seconds at the flag. Rough last lap for him. Could have been much better. Harrison Gafford, another guy that's going to miss out along with Nick Niles. Joey Bradstreet, Jesse Furtado, Carl Novak back here laying it down. Hernandez not going to finish. Carl Robite back here as well. Timmy Briscoe not going to finish. Blowers, Reyes, Speck, Mortberg, Zellner, Mason Call, Austin Schaefer, Chris Young, Sonny Spicer, Carson Bolin also having their evenings end early here tonight. So tough break for those guys, but they get to kick back and maybe grab a, I don't know, Capri Sun or something and watch with the boys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they probably have some buddies that they're going to be bummed that they missed the race, but they can at least watch or spot for one of your friends and hang out here throughout the rest of the night of Race Factory Gaming Moto option.
No, it's not. But good
All
shot.
right.
Hey, shout out to the other people who picked someone other than the 3 we named, because you guys will have won the bet. So congratulations to the prediction results for the other winners. I don't know. It doesn't show me.
20.9 thousand. What are they called? Points. Go to B-Dog Simmer and 9 others.
Yep,
Oh, see
so
details.
Basically, it was the 10,900 was bet, and it was basically double that on return. So
yeah,
for
whatever
example,
you put up.
B-Dog Simmer put up almost 6,000, so he probably got about 12,000 channel points right there. And honestly, like that's pretty cool. Like that's working out really well. And yeah, so should we do it again? Should we do the same thing for the 450 Conti, or should we try to come up with something more off the wall?
Ooh.
Should we do something like who leads lap 1 for the 450 Conti?
Yeah, that one's tricky. I almost feel like that stuff, it's more to do during the actual motos, but I feel like we can at least be a little bit more accurate. And if we're doing a couple guys and other, or we could do, you know, out of these guys, who's the top finisher, so that one of the 3 or 4 is gonna be them, and there's no other now, and then we can kind of see how that works. If people want to throw it out there, you don't get that kind of cop out of picking the field.
Well, Axis in the chat says we should do the same thing, and I mean, I'm fine with that. We could just run it back again.
I'll pick some names. We could pick some names faster too, because they were already going away, and I was like, get these 3.
I got a question though. Is anybody here watching on YouTube? Because I cannot see it up on my end. I don't know why.
I can. We have 42 people right now in YouTube,
okay,
and we've got all sorts of Braden Carter, Hubbard. We've got pretty good chat too. So more in Twitch right now, but that's where we have been streaming. But it is up, it is playing, and the chat is going.
I forgot to put up my multi-stream chat, so I haven't seen what's on YouTube, but good to see that, because I saw that the viewership was different between what I have on my screen in front of me here versus our Twitch chat. So let's do the same thing. We'll pick out 3 guys. There's only 14 going to the gate in this Consolation race. So should we maybe only pick 2 guys or something like that we think might win and another, or should we do 3? What do you want to do?
Let's see what the names are. I see a Will Canal. I see who do we got? We got an Austin Bear, Jack Fowler. See, he's been a little bit out though. No offense to Jack Fowler and JT George. I'm glad to see them back, but I want to try to pick some competitive names we have in here. Ethan Parks. How about Ethan Parks? Ooh, Rogan McIntosh.
Better be quick.
Ethan Parks, Rogan McIntosh, and Austin Bear.
Okay.
And then the field.
And other, we're going to give you guys 2 minutes for this one. All right. Predictions are up again for the Consolation race. Bet those channel points. You guys might even be able to see the race begin before you have to bet, because we're going to see this kind of rolling in here. So, all right, watching it roll in. A lot of people picking Ethan Parks already, betting those channel points coming in hot.
This is pretty cool to watch. Because I can see, do you have this view on there on the computer? Kind of something like that?
Yeah, I can see this.
Yeah. Seeing where the points are going and how many, it's pretty cool.
All right, yeah. So I see people on YouTube. What's up, Champ K-Dub, Sandman, Gotti Jr.? Good to have you guys here. Sorry you can't get involved in the Twitch stuff that we're doing over here, but if you want to swing by, certainly make that worth your while every once in a while to do some betting with us. And shout out to everyone who's laying down the bets. Here's our look at our Consolation race riders. The 794, I think it is, or 704 of Jack Fowler, not on the gate just yet, so hopefully he loads back in and he's going to be okay there. Still a little bit of time left in this one. A lot of people going with other, but we got some Austin Bear fans out there. Oh, and now Rogan McIntosh. We got almost 4,000, almost 5,000 channel points laid down for Rogan McIntosh to get the dub here.
Someone just dropped 3,000 on him. That's pretty cool.
1 to 54 odds on Ethan Parks right now. You put a little cheesy bet on Ethan Parks down, you might come out with some big numbers if he wins it here. So
throw about 10 or 20, you'll get that back in a couple minutes if you lose it when you get those free ones.
Time is going to run out on that right as the gate drops, so get your bets in. You might even see who gets the whole shot. Austin Bear is all by himself on the 94 down the inside right here. As the card goes sideways, off the track goes our 30 card holder, and we're racing in the 450 Consolation race now. Off and running up the uphill. Who's going to get that whole shot? 14 riders going to that first turn out of the middle. It looks like Rogan McIntosh does get there first. He's got Ethan Parks right on his heels, and bets are now locked in. 42% of you picked Rogan McIntosh to win this Consi, and he's down off the double. A lot of guys landing on him, and he's going to get swallowed up immediately by the field. A lot of guys going down up the hill, and Teddy Lehman takes over the race lead.
Yeah, I bet those guys were feeling pretty confident there, and then he throws it away. I wanted to point out earlier, as we have a rider go off the track but able to re-enter safely back there, those two step-ups right there are some of the most fun jumps in the whole outdoor motocross series that we race. In MX Sim, going up there, throwing some fat scrubs on them. But many times, multiple times a year, I've gone down on those. I've gone down while leading or inside the top 5, just throwing too big of a whip and going down just like Rogan did right there.
Oh, and now
Teddy Lehman goes down in the rut, and so does someone else behind him, but he's going to get past, look at that, 5 guys.
Yeah, tough break. I mean, you don't want to fall early in these consies, man. You just lose so much time and positions. It is Ethan Parks out front now, so 14% of you laid some moolah down on Ethan Parks. 1 to 7 odds, so 7 times whatever channel points you laid down if Ethan Parks takes the dub in this one, and he's off and running with the race lead. Eduardo Simos, Dutu Munum Bino in the 2 spot. Jet Wisdom down the inside makes a nice pass into second place on that inside line down the hill. And then that is Austin Bear bringing up caboose right now. 18% of you picked Austin Bear as well. So we got 2 of the 4 that we also laid out in the mix again, A-Wood. We're Nostradamus out here.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing about Dudu right there, I just want to point out that jump line into that corner down that hill. Dudu kind of messed it up a little bit, kind of cased it just a little bit, and then there's not as much of a rut for him to get held up on early. I think in the motos, we're going to see that develop to be a very fast line, maybe the main line, but then you can still go up the inside if you want to challenge the ruts and braking bumps, and I think that can be faster. It's just a risk versus reward type of thing.
Ethan Parks leads the first lap here at Thunder Valley 450 Consolation Race. Top 4 riders go into the main show, and right now they are Ethan Parks, Jet Wisdom, Eduardo Simos, and Austin Bear as Wisdom tightening up the gap on our race leader Parks. The 403 Nexus rider wants to go for the race lead here as they drop on out of the first corner complex. Simos and Austin Bear also having a nice duel for the 3rd position right now, right behind this little fight, but Parks now, just as I say that, might be opening it up a little bit, and now he pirouettes and goes down. So now Ethan Parks is on the ground. Here comes Teddy Lehman up the hill. He's going to go by. Parks is going to pick it up just ahead of Justin Thomas on the Shutoku ride, coming through the corner here in 6th. So Parks now has some work to do as your new leader is Jet Wisdom.
Yeah, Jet Wisdom had some speed right there. Ethan Parks, just a huge mistake, but still able to hold on to the transfer spot. But Jet Wisdom was showing just a little bit more speed, I thought, behind him. Maybe just feels more comfortable when you're in second place and you can watch someone and just kind of ride your own race versus being out front early in a final consolation race trying to get that transfer spot in. I feel like you get a little bit more pressure. So now Jet Wisdom is going to be under that same pressure. But I think just being one lap, just being behind him and able to kind of work his way up, maybe a little bit better than getting up front early and kind of having to think about all that stuff, all the guys behind you.
Yeah, so Wisdom now 8 seconds ahead. Parks has moved into second place. Simo's now 3rd, and Teddy Lehman is in 4th, but we got some freight training going on here. Austin Bear, JT George, Gavin Ping not too far behind them on that triple right now, and Lehman has got some work to do, man. These guys are going to put the heat on him. Austin Bear, who was in a transfer spot, wants that spot right back, right away, not waste any more time, and get around Teddy Lehman if he can.
Yeah, this group tightening up right there, a mistake by Austin Bear back behind Lehman. It loses a little bit of spots behind him, or just time right there, but trying to pull it back up that hill. These guys, though, just kind of fighting and trying to stay consistent here. Lehman, though, around the outside, tries to get a drive, unable to do that yet. But, man, these guys are getting close, and I think these guys, there's going to be a lot of pressure on all of them to kind of stay up, and you see Bear back there just keeps blowing ruts, trying to push and push and push, almost just wash to the front right behind him as well again.
Yeah, and Lehman actually stretched the gap out ahead of these guys, so Lehman putting some heat on Eduardo Simos now for the 3 spot as Jet Wisdom lays in a 2:16 flat out front. He is cooking 7 seconds up the track on Ethan Parks. This battle for 4th still brewing, though. Lehman was getting away, and suddenly Austin Bear is right back on his heels. Got to watch out for JT George on the Elite Decals ride right behind them, and now we got 3 bikes in the same corner right there coming through the whole shot line. Simos Simmos, Lehman, and Bear on your screen. Bear down the inside trying to get a drive. Lehman almost goes off the track. It's going to be close as they jump back alongside of each other. Bear not quite able to get there yet. The drag race up the hill now.
Yeah, that was weird. He just kind of seemed like he turned right. I don't know what happened. Almost just exited straight off the track. Able to hold it together. Bear trying to go up the inside right here. So bumpy right there, though. So he's going to funnel to the outside. Doo-Doo up in front of them was the only one who stayed up the inside there. It's kind of a yo-yo type section. These outsides here at Thunder Valley are so much further as Austin Bear goes down behind Lehman right there. Outsides are so much further out than the insides, but the insides are super rutted, tight ruts with big braking bumps going down the hill. So it's all about how fast you want to push into the corner, and we'll see a lot of yo-yoing between the guys today.
Yeah, so Lehman now gets a little bit of a gap behind him because of that crash. Bear and JT George both 9 seconds down now as things have gotten a little bit more Riley. This battle for third is still brewing, though. I don't think Teddy Lehman wants to be in fourth anymore. He wants to go get Eduardo Simmos on the SM design machine and make this pass happen as they charge down the hill. Also, Ethan Park's starting to eat away at Jet Wisdom in the lead a little bit, only 5 seconds off of the 4:03 machine here on the third lap. So white flag coming out next time by, and these guys still going at it for this 3 position now.
Yeah, the good thing is they can kind of push and get some almost feel of racing under their belt, but it's not a pass that you need to make. So if I'm Lehman, I'm going to go up and try to get around Doo-Doo, use some different lines and see what works. Be like, okay, this outside line, did it get me closer? Maybe just a little bit. And then you're kind of just seeing what works in the race setting and what can be used to get around people. Because when you're in a moto, if you start in 20th place, you need to know what's going to work to avoid the guys and get around them. So I think it's some fun practice before the race. If you are in a consi in a transfer spot right behind someone, you can just kind of feel your way out with your competitors.
Well, these two are still nose to tail, 16-8 out of Simmos, 17-2 out of Teddy Lehman. And behind them, we got some laps being laid in pretty nicely. JT George, Austin Bear. Austin Bear went 2:22 last time by. He's trying to close the gap down from 6 seconds back on Teddy Lehman on this final lap of the race. Ethan Parks now down to 4.8 seconds off the lead as we still watch this battle for third. Simmos drag racing up the uphill in third place. And I think for these guys at this point, as much as Lehman wants to go get Simmos, he's maybe got to be a little bit more worried about making a mistake and allowing Bear back into the picture.
Yeah, it's definitely, I see him riding a little bit sketchy, but I think that just might be how he is. But look at that slingshot around the outside there up the hill is going to be able to get past Doo-Doo with that smooth outside line. Doo-Doo had been going to the inside and able to get the drive up the hill, but one time you make a mistake exiting that corner, and Lehman, who's able to just rail that big berm on the outside, able to shoot up past him. So that's kind of what you get for going on the inside and trying to use those tight lines to protect yourself. But you can definitely make a mistake right there, and we saw it right there with him.
So Teddy Lehman makes a nice move into third. He is going to try to continue on his way. This is getting a little bit more tightened up for this fourth and final transfer spot. Austin Bear laying in a qualifying lap right now is only 3.4 seconds off the final transfer spot of Eduardo Simmos coming down the hill. Here is the distance between the two of them, and it's tightening up. This could get good with these final few corners to go.
Yeah, if I'm Bear, I'm sending it as hard as I can because there is the slight possibility that they do make a mistake. But I think when they're at kind of a slower pace, they're just trying to hold on. They're not pushing it, running their fastest lap time. So if I'm Austin Bear, I say, I've got one more lap to do it. Let me throw down my fastest lap, and you guys can just see the speed difference when he's going through that section right there. And look at how close he's able to get right here to Doo-Doo.
He hits the back of him and goes down as Jet Wisdom takes the Consi win. That's going to go to 27% of you other voters. Ethan Parks second, very close at the end. Teddy Lehman is going to pick up third, and Eduardo Simmos looks like he will pick up fourth in this one. So close at the end. Austin Bear gave it his all. Man, he laid in a good lap time. He did a 2:18.7 with a crash even. That is unbelievable because Simmos did a 2:20.1 without a crash. So Bear was definitely standing on that final lap. Yeah.
How? What?
He finished 5 seconds behind Simmos.
So that was a qualifying lap for sure. Just like you said as we were going over that big triple step up in the back, man, he was throwing down a heater. You can just see that everyone else, their pace was just not, I guess, not that high. It's really just kind of ride a smooth race and don't try to push. But yeah, man, that was impressive by Austin Bear. he got onto the back of Doodoo so quick there. I almost wasn't even ready to call it but I think Doodoo made a mistake coming down the hill, and it was like, whoa, he just closed up 5 bike lengths in a quarter of a second.
Yeah, that gap came down in a hurry, but it does look like Simos is going to hang on, barring penalties. We'll wait and see. Teddy Lehman, Ethan Parks, and Jet Wisdom will have gone through as well. So just waiting for cuts before we hand out those points. And there it is. Jet Wisdom confirmed your winner, Ethan Parks, Teddy Lehman, and Eduardo Simos. So we'll go ahead and hand out those channel points to you other winners out there. So let's see what the go was. 3,200 channel points were given out, so 12,100 21 channel points go back to other people. Looks like Casanova put 680 down, and the return rate was 3.7 times that. So yeah, looks like he got about 2,000 total channel points for taking the win right there. Nicely done to Casanova and everybody else who bet on the other winners. That was fun. Good consies, good racing all around.
Yeah, that was fun. A little bit of a track preview for you guys as well, as we saw Jet Wisdom take his win on his Nexus Triumph ride. I think it's cool to almost like a little bit of a preview before we just get to the motos and we throw everyone at them. The viewers get a chance to see the track, see kind of the lines that people are taking, insides, outsides, what the different options are for these guys. And it just kind of makes it feel a little bit smoother transition when we get into the motos for us and the viewers as well.
All right, so what should we do for the motos? Here's the theory I think we should do. What we should do is whole shot winner. You and I each pick one person that we'll put down as a name, and then we'll give other as another option for people to pick. And then maybe 10 minutes into the moto, we'll see who the top 3 are. Write them down and other, and let them pick again for 2 minutes. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good too. And then we could even if it's not other, right? But if you have like a Payson Johnson in 6th or something like that, and it's like, oh, he's on a charge, we can pick maybe out of the top 3 or 4. Yeah, and then one guy that might be coming up, and then throw down another. And then we could also even do, if we're doing it that far into the race, be like, hey, here's where these guys are at now. Who's going to be the highest finisher out of them, even
exactly,
if it's a 3, 4, 5, 6 battle, because then there's not always the chance to kind of go to the field. So I think that's fun, and as long as it's not too much work, I mean, you could even ask me for a name or two, and I can commentate while you pick another one.
Yeah, I was just figured I'll just put it on one rider and let you have at it, basically.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, we'll do that and pick out our whole shot winners here in a second. Let's just kind of go through the list here. Coming into 250 Moto 1, Dylan Dallaire, John Heilman, Jack Gatlin, Jeff Cooper, Ryan Chelsea, Joey Rico, Seth Carr, Maverick Snyder, Tyler Nichols, Colin Holden, Philip Kukich, I don't know that name, Joey Carter, Alec Horn, Braden Tharp, Jaden Gomez, Reese Harris, Evan Holt, Hunter Ash, Ryan Swanson, Hayden Stevenson, Race Cobble, Emmanuel Cepeda, Cody Branson, Marcondes Feitosa, so many names, Logan Leitzel, Jeremy Schiabro, Maverick Snyder, Jeremy Siebold, Lucas Brune, Evan Vanderkoy, Ben Nerona, Logan Leitzel, I think I already said, Luke Sullivan in this one. Give me your whole shot pick here, brought to you by the Design Lab Co., Andrew Wood.
I think I'm going to go with Austin Partolo.
All right, so you are going to pick Austin Partolo, and I am going to go with Braden Tharp for the whole shot winner.
Ooh.
And we'll go with an other option for you folks in the chat. 2 minutes. Who gets the 250 Moto 1 whole shot?
Whole shot.
And start. All right, so you either side with us, myself and Andrew Wood. I got Tharp, you got Austin Partolo, brought to you by the Design Lab Co. Or you may pick an other option. I think other's probably going to be pretty successful this time around.
Yeah, but then you get really good odds if you like one of our picks. So I mean, I had to throw a little sprinkle on my guy I picked, because why would I pick him if I didn't think he was going to win? So I like how when you vote, it's like, hey, you're a moderator. You sure you want to vote in here? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm trying to. It's my pick. Let's do it. So yeah, this one will have a little bit higher odds, but hey, if you it's kind of that pick where if you get on it, you win a lot of channel points back, or you can go for maybe a 2-to-1 or 1.5-to-1 where you're not really increasing, but hey, you're taking that. So hopefully we get one of these right and we see a huge return. We've got 27,000 bits on or points on other, 6,000 on Partlow, 1,000 on Braden Tharp right now.
You got 27 time odds if you pick Tharp for the holy here. So I don't know.
Might as well put a sprinkle on it,
just
guys.
put like, maybe 100 channel points down and you win 1,000. No, 1,700. No.
Yeah. Who's iMoto251 again in chat?
I don't remember his name, but we'll just call him
one
iMoto.
of our, that's our chat guy.
Yeah, that's the stat guy in the chat.
Stat guy. Say, stat guy.
Oh boy.
Hey, big guy. Video game guy.
12% picking Partlow, 6% picking Tharp, and 82% picking other. Alec Horn, Colin Holden, Dylan Delaire. Look at the names going to the line in 250 Moto 1.
Who's the other guy with the P last name? Partlow, isn't they? Who was Partlow battling with? Was it last week or at Paula? Or
I don't know, man.
There's someone.
I don't know how I don't have Madley's gear. I downloaded like 8 Twizy packs. But here we go, folks. 250 Moto 1. The whole shot picks are in. 83% of you are going with someone other than Austin Partlow or Braden Tharp. But if one of those two comes out with the holy, they're going to be looking pretty. And so will you guys who are going to win the
try to
big
find
money
Tharp
here tonight.
Because Tharp is the low bet. If we can find him, it's 40 guys. It's so hard to find.
Yeah. We'll just look at our red plate holder down there on the inside. Perhaps Ryan Chowsey as well could come out with a good start. Here we go. 30 minutes plus 2 laps from Thunder Valley. We're racing. Who's going to get the Design Lab co-hole shot? Seth Carr's going to get to the corner first. Braden Tharp leads him in. Does he lead him out? No! Seth Carr takes the Studio 8 hole shot by a nose. Everybody else who picked other, Tharp almost got it, but the others will win. Seth Carr leads on the opening lap up the uphill. That was a close one between Tharp and Carr. I feel like I almost had it, but that was a good one.
That is insane. I mean, the odds that they would have got on Braden Tharp 18-1 would have been wild. There was over 50,000 bits bet on that, or points bet on that one, that are going to go back to you viewers who voted there. Congratulations on that, and a great start by Seth Carr out of a very questionable gate pick. I was going to point out, he was on like the second gate from the inside, which notoriously gets chopped off here. Was able to make it work, sneak up the inside, but I would not have been that far inside, but he made it work. Got a great jump, and that's a risky one right there.
So Seth Carr leads on the opening lap. Maverick Snyder, Ryan Chowsey, Jeremy Siebold, and Jeff Cooper. It does look like Tharp went down in the second or third corner because he has dropped to 8th. So maybe not a fall, but a slide out or something like that. And hey, look at our championship leader, Seth Carr, man. He is putting the heat down. And as I say that, he almost lays it down from the race lead. He's going to pick it up just as Maverick Snyder gets there. But man, oh man, Seth Carr, what a save out front.
Yeah, I mean, a big save right there. He just pushed that corner a little bit too fast, and when these guys are so used to, I feel like, riding the tracks when they're a little bit more rough with the road broken in, and sometimes they go out there lap one, they just send it and realize there's not as much rut for them built up to hold on to them. So maybe he's going to pull it back just a little bit as he goes around some of these ruts, gets that lean angle over. Just slow it down a tiny bit in the corners and wait for the track to develop before he really starts pushing, because we know Seth Carr has the speed. Great qualifying here today and always fast. So great start where he needs to be, and when you got the red plate, this is where you want to be, right up front early.
Oh yeah, so Seth Carr leads the opening lap. It's Maverick Snyder, Ryan Chowsey, Jeff Cooper, and Jackson Vick inside of the top 5 for JWTC. Cruzy Cranked also repping him. Braden Tharp is now back in the 6th with Joey Carter 7th, Jack Gadlin 8th, and Cade Matherly in 9th. Ryan Swanson, Ollie Cruz, Philip. How do you say this name? Chukik? Kuchik?
Chukik.
Kukik? I don't know, man. Cruzy fan out here.
Chukich.
Also, I love when the name Philip is spelled like that. F-I-L-I-P. Philip.
I like a Philip. I like a Felipe too. Look at Kuchik around the outside. I feel like every time we say it, we're going to say it differently, which is the fun of it. Kukic. I think I said that one of the 7 times. I thought one of the
C's would have a ch sound to it.
I think the last one.
Yeah, so
and the first one is
Kukic.
Like, who's that big, tall basketball player guy?
Jokic, yeah.
Jokic.
Like the people from those, the Slavic countries, I think is what they're called. That they have that kind of the ch sound with the C's that end on like the hard last part of their name and stuff like that. I don't know that Philip Kukic is from there, but seems like it's pretty common.
Yeah.
Philip is Noah Viney is what people are saying in chat. So there you go, Philip Kukic, also known as Noah Viney, allegedly, as Seth Carr continues to lead the race. We're just having a good time out here tonight. Congrats to all the people who won the channel points for not selecting Braden Tharp or Austin Partolo. But man, if you had Seth Carr in your back pocket for this Moto win, he's looking pretty good out there. I think what we may do for channel points is once we get to that 10-minute, maybe 15-minute mark, we just say, does Seth Carr win this Moto, yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things that we can do, and I like that because it's like betting. I mean, that's terrible, but it's preying on his downfall. But there's so many things we could do, right? And I think this will be fun throughout the series because we could switch it up every single moto. If he's got a 15-second lead, which he's already out front, like over 5 seconds, you can even just go to, second or third, fourth, and fifth place, and kind of then it creates something else we can watch, almost like a Pulpamex fantasy type deal, where you're not just watching who's going to win the race, right? You're giving these guys watching someone else to choose for or root for while they're watching. So, but right now, yeah, Seth Carr, yes or no, is looking like a yes right now with just how good he's looking. I mean, Logan Leitzel, we got to go through and kind of see where some of his championship contenders are at. But
I mean, it's honestly a pretty bad look for a lot of them. Evan Holt, 28th. Austin Partolo, 32nd. Luke Sullivan, 34th. So not a good start for those guys. Leitzel's 13th. Matherly is 7th. And Tharp has already crawled all the way into 3rd. So some good rides for those guys. But yeah, I think those guys outside of the top 25 right now are hating life back there.
Yeah, just straight up not having a good time right now. And Braden Tharp almost loses it. He's having a good time as he picks that thing up before he even really went all the way down. That was a pretty great save right there by him. But yeah, I mean, this is not what you want to see if you're in the championship points. And we said this 250 class is so much closer than the 450s right now. Who's going to separate themselves? As it looks right now, I mean, it could just be a bad start by some of those guys, right? They could have been in a big crash we didn't see. But Seth Carr is making a really good case right now. And you obviously every moto counts, and you got to try to separate yourself as far as possible.
So Tharp here in the 3 spot, watching him right now, about 4 seconds off of the 2 spot right now, which is Jackson Vick. Jackson Vick doing a terrific job this year, was inside the top 10 back at Hangtown last week, and now mixing it up in 2nd. And he's going to take the race lead because Seth Carr just went down on that uphill triple. Jackson Vick, your new leader here at Thunder Valley. And we're just talking about Seth Carr running away with this thing. Well, he threw it away as well.
Yeah, threw it away in a weird spot. It almost looked like that might have been a case of whipping too hard over a jump or kind of clipping it for some reason. He was like down but not completely out. Just get passed by Vic on that uphill, and Vic with a surprising name, one that we don't normally see up front. So really cool to see him leading a lap right there, coming across, and man, he's got to have some nerves under him right now. Looks like it with the way he's seat bouncing. We'll see how long he can hold on for this on his JWTC ride.
I remember the common phrase I would always hear when I was racing, and it happened to me too, is the first time you get in the lead of a pro national, you say, I don't know what to do with my hands. And I think Jackson Vicks is feeling that right now. He's trying to hold the lead, though. He's making Seth Carr really work for it. Bar to bar up the uphill, scrubs it down, and is going to maintain the race lead, at least for now. Seth Carr is trying to get the drive up the inside, rear wheel all the way to the top of the hill, and Jackson Vick yard sails in front of him. He's down with the lead. There goes Seth Carr. There goes Braden Tharp, and Vick now going to pick it up behind. There goes Gatland, and Joey Carter also going through as Vic picks it up just in front of Matherly. So it goes from the lead to 5th and right into a battle.
Yeah, he tried to cross over in front of Carr right there, and there's some braking, or there's some acceleration bumps and ruts kind of going up that face before you get to that flat top of that hill. Must have just got a weird kick and went completely pirouetting in the air, and yeah, gets down. Ooh, he's going to be able to get around that rider.
Down. And Jackson Vick grabs a handful and loops out. A lot of guys getting hung up in this corner now. The 117 of Jeff Cooper, I think it is, also having a tough time getting around Vic, who was down, and he wheelies his way back onto the track.
Going on up there?
We got some grippy stuff going on at Thunder Valley. But man, look at all these battles. A lot of guys nose to tail as Ollie Cruz goes in and out of the tough blocks. Here's our first look at Logan Leitzel now into 5th. It is Carr, Tharp, Matherly, Carter, and Logan Leitzel up inside of the top 5 right now, and Leitzel is going to get around Joey Carter, who just went down on the outside of the track right there. Now we got kind of a little bit more of our heavy hitters look at the front. Cartharp, Matherly, and Leitzel 1 through 4. They're pretty separated, but this seems to be a pretty strong core now at the front.
Yeah, it's crazy how much can change in 3.5 laps right there, as just the name scrolling across the top of your screen. Besides Ollie Cruz putting himself in a good spot right there, as he actually just lost a spot to, and I think he's falling. No, he's still there. Stevenson got him, but he's the one name that kind of stands out right there, which is awesome. I mean, that's where Jackson Vick was right there. If you can hold on to it, every once in a while you just get someone that gets a good start, really gels with the track, and is able to put down a good finish. So get through. We're almost 10 minutes into this race right now, and I think it's cool to see if he can just kind of hold on and try to stay inside that top 5. But man, Seth Carr's doing what he needed to do after going down early, gets back in the lead, and he's still got a good gap after. That's what happens when you get out to a good start.
Yeah, he's got a 5-second advantage now on Tharp, and another 5 seconds back behind that to Cade Matherly. So it's kind of spread out at the front of the field, at least for right now. Here's Logan Leitzel in the 4th spot, only a few seconds behind Matherly. Then Stevenson, who you mentioned, moved up into the top 5 on his Nexus Triumph, having a good ride ahead of Ryan Chowsey, Ollie Cruz, Maverick Snyder, Jack Gatlin, and Trent Adams inside of the top 10. Update on a couple of the other big names in the field. Evan Holt now 22nd. Luke Sullivan is up to 24th, so they are trying to work their way forward. Austin Pardello 33rd still for him. Not a good ride whatsoever for the 52 machine, as he's going to have a long road to get back into the points now. Battle brewing, though. Stevenson under attack. Here comes Ryan Chowsey.
Yeah, Chowsey absolutely pushing right now. Just you can tell that speed's a little bit more right there, and it's taking the same rut right there is not exactly what you want to do when you're chasing someone this close. Stevenson. But just like that, whoa, he barely avoids Stevenson, who clips inside right there, goes cartwheeling across, doesn't fall off the bike, though. Still going to lose about 3 or 4 positions right there, able to get the triple step up still. But man, very close call by Chowsey, who was able to get by Stevenson. And Stevenson is my early award for the lit kit. Before we go through the field, maybe give a top 20 rundown or something later on. Looking fresh right there in that yellow and black gear. But Jack Gatlin looking good as well, actually, in this red and black. What kind of gear is that?
I have no idea what kind of gear it is, actually. Let's see.
He's O'Neal.
O'Neal, yeah.
He's enjoying the ride right there with number 29, my number, shortened.
Orange boots, orange gloves, orange helmet. It's
the bike. It's hard to make anything look good with that bike,
well,
though.
That bike is like pink and purple, so I don't know. Orange, yeah, it's not bad.
Imagine if he's just standing there and he looks really good, but once you sit on your bike, you're like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's our race leader again, Seth Carr. We're now past the 11-minute mark. So what do we want to do? Do we want to do does Seth Carr win? Do we want to do maybe the top 3 or other for Moto win? What do you want to do?
Yeah, what's his lead? He's got a
4.6 second lead, 9.5 back to Cade Matherly.
I think we can do a
top 3 or other.
Top 3 and other.
Okay.
Yeah, because other right now includes Logan Leitzel too. We saw him early on. At Paula, just have an insanely great ride, really dominate the field, and just have a pace a little bit different than everyone else. So, I mean, you got Seth Carr right now, so I'm assuming he's going to be the favorite. That's who we're watching on screen. But you got just a couple seconds back. You could see him coming up the hill on the right side of this shot right there. We'll see him in that berm behind him. 4 seconds in the National, we always talk about, is not that big of a gap. So, Braden Tharp chasing behind, Cade Matherly as well. Also in this championship battle, coming across in 3rd, almost 10 seconds back, but not quite. So you guys will have the ability to vote on who's going to win this thing, if Carr takes it home or if it's someone else.
Yep, voting is up for channel points to redeem, as we have Seth Carr, Braden Tharp, Cade Matherly 1, 2, 3 in the Moto. Hey, but you know what? Logan Leitzel just laid in fastest lap of the race in P4, and he is all over Cade Matherly now into 3rd. So maybe we should have thought twice about maybe including Leitzel in this mix. So far, 86% of you think Seth Carr is going to win this Moto. But I have to assume when you see Leitzel's on board right now, it may change your perspective on what's going to happen in the second half of this race. We've still got 17 minutes left to go in this race, and Leitzel's putting the heat on the 3 position here of Cade Matherly.
Yeah, and I think this is such a great view for anyone who hasn't watched Thunder Valley maybe before or anything else, or just haven't raced it in a while. You don't race you can see just how rough this track is. So many high-speed sections in the corners with like 6 ruts in them. These guys have braking bumps coming into it. You got to lay it over, ruts up and down the jump faces. So a very demanding track. One of the most difficult, most fun, I think, on the circuit up there, but it's got very difficult if you struggle with ruts, off cameras, fast braking bumps. You really have to be precise.
Leitzel clicked in another fastest lap of the race at a 2:07.3. He's pulling up alongside Matherly, going up the uphill. He's going to try this inside line, which not many people have taken. Cuts across the line, but Matherly swoops the outside and holds position. Great fight here for the 3 position on track as Carr and Tharp still continuing to lead this race. And Tharp went off the track for a minute there because times were showing a little bit weird, but only 3 seconds off the lead now for Tharp. Leitzel just, man, he's trying every option he can here on Matherly to make this pass happen. Still hasn't gotten it done yet, but look at this far outside. Let's see if he gets it done here. Not quite just yet.
Yeah, Logan Leitzel is trying everything to get around into this position. Insides, outsides, you see him searching right here, going to this outside. Railing around that, such a long line there, so your speed has to basically be twice as fast as it is going up the inside.
That's our leader. Seth Carr goes down from the race lead. He's going to drop back to 4th place. We're not even halfway into this moto yet, and it's been flipped upside down. Braden Tharp, your new leader, from Cade Matherly, Logan Leitzel, and Seth Carr dropping back to 4th. Wow, that opens up quite the door for opportunity. Looks like submissions have closed. We had almost 25,000 channel points dropped for this bet right now, and most of you went with Seth Carr at 67%, and I think they're already regretting it.
Yeah, shaking in your boots right now if you're one of those guys, but Seth Carr, we're going to see his raw speed against Logan Leitzel, and Logan Leitzel blows that second to last route right there. Had so much speed, went down, and just kind of got a little bit of a kick and went right over it. But his speed was looking good side by side against Carr. But, man, Carr is now just on his way back up. And this battle is going to be so much closer. Before, it was 10 seconds back to 3rd when Carr was leading. Now Carr is only 5 seconds back. And Cade Matherly is only 3 seconds off the lead. So this battle for the lead could be a great one here. And all 3 of the guys that we had able to vote for, very, very close right now. They're going to be in the same section shortly.
So, for example, right now, Braden Tharp is leading this race, and he has got a little bit of a gap to work with as it runs. He is 2 seconds up the road. Hunt Dog laid in 600 channel points as a bet to have Tharp win this moto. 600 channel points. If Tharp wins, he'll get 14,190 channel points for Braden Tharp winning this moto. So, honestly, like, pretty ballsy to, pick Tharp, I guess, but might work out.
Yeah, I almost sprinkled it a little bit, not that much. I ended up going with something else there on those channel points just to see if I can get some more. I always spend them on dumb stuff, it seems like. So I'm pretty low, so I'm trying to regain what I got. But man, that's a quick way to get those points up. If you pick an underdog and no one's really voting for him, you can really maximize your returns there. Braden Tharp looking good out front though too. That Panini Motorsports Fantic putting that thing out front right now, and we're gonna have to see if he can start dropping some lap times. Cade Matherly is closing in. He's lost some time, about a second after we saw him last lap, and Seth Carr as well went from 5 seconds to 3 seconds back. So these two on your screen right now are charging up front and trying to change the history of this race. What happens here? Yeah,
Seth Carr is putting the heat on Cade Matherly right now and trying to make him work for it in this 2 position as the battle is on for second. These guys are only 2 seconds off the race lead as well, so perhaps they could even push each other into the fight. Leitzel picked it up from his crash. He's 10 seconds down, then a massive gap back to Maverick Snyder, who is running in the 5 spot. We'll talk about those guys in a minute, but all eyes on this battle for second because Seth Carr looks like he might still be the fastest rider on the track, and that crash might have even made it even more in the case of him being the fastest on the track because he looks like he's riding aggressive now.
Yeah, sometimes it lights a fire under your butt, and you really just want to push a little bit faster. We saw Logan Leitzel has the best lap of the race, but Seth Carr, and he's still back there, though. Seth Carr was pushing hard and gets a bad kick there out of the rut into those rollers, just gets a huge swap there, ends up going down. That's a hard hit right there as we see Logan Leitzel, who goes up and passes him. So, yeah, Leitzel putting in fast lap times, getting by, but just hasn't been as consistent as Carr. Carr now down on the ground 17 minutes into this moto, and he's got to work his way back up. the falls have really bit him. He's super fast, but just gone down too many times on his own.
Leitzel was once again the fastest rider on the track last time by at a 2:07.921. He was a fraction of a second faster than what Seth Carr did, but obviously Carr just laid it down. So these guys now 11 and 12 seconds off the race lead respectively, but both of them at the moment at least running quite a bit faster than Tharp and Matherly out front. So they might be able to latch onto each other and push each other into a position where they could battle for the lead once again. At least that's what they're going to try to do. We'll go back here 18 and a half minutes into this moto, give some credit to Maverick Snyder on the Takatoji Yamaha here in 5th place. A great performance thus far for him. 8 seconds back to Philip Kukic is what we found out his name is, Crizzy fan, in the 6th spot. Then Hayden Stevenson, let's give some love here. Luke Sullivan, who was outside of the top 30, has made it all the way to 8th, and he is mixing it up with these guys. Looks like he just maybe got around Ollie Cruz and is into that 8th position. Stevenson and Kukic not too far up the road from Sully. So talk about a salvage ride for a guy who factors into this championship fight, coming from outside the top 30 to some really good points in this moto thus far.
Yeah, a huge comeback when you're in a championship battle. You've got to have rides like this. You cannot be starting, or I mean, when you do start that far back, you need to know that you have the speed and you have to get back at least inside the top 10, because that's too many points to lose in the moto if you have any chance of taking this championship home or even being up there at the end of the year. So really good ride by him, and he's definitely got some more positions to check off. I think he sees those two guys in front of him, and he's not wondering if, it's just when and how soon can he get them and how soon can he keep moving forward.
He's trying to work his way up to the back fender there of Stevenson in the 7th spot. You can see two guys right in front of him. It is Stevenson and Kukic, who's just up the road. There is Philip Kukic going through the inside line right there on the 10. But yeah, so I'm not sure. What's the name on the back of this jersey say? Let's zoom in. Seabolt. Interesting. Okay.
And the number and the bike of Seabolt.
He gets sideways. Not sure if it's actually Jeremy Seabolt or not, but we do have some perceptions that it's at least not Philip Kukic. We'll see.
Seabolt's been riding, not to talk harshly, not the best, right, this year? Or has he even been,
he's had some good motos.
Squidbro is the one who's been struggling.
Schiaro's been a little bit hit and miss, definitely.
Another veteran S name right there. Sullivan up the inside. Oh, he's just going to take over that rut from him, push him off the track, and that allows two of them to go by right there. So great move by Luke Sullivan, veteran move, just knowing that he's got more of his bike to that rut early, slamming in there and just taking that spot away. Yeah, Sully's now up into 6th, and there's a good shot. He still can get Maverick Snyder 8 seconds up the road of him in 5th, which would be, good Lord, that ride by Luke Sullivan. I just heard some crunching in my headset. Okay, I just want to make sure that was not a vibration of like a phone.
Yeah, I just heard something. I don't know what it was. So hopefully that didn't come across for you guys and sound a little bit weird. Okay, so yeah, Jeremy Seabolt is right here.
Yeah, he's riding that.
So it's not Seabolt. It's someone else using Seabolt's old gear. I don't know what team this even is.
LSD?
Allied Yamaha. I don't even remember this team. So why does Seabolt have skins for it? I have no idea. But it's quite interesting, because here's Jeremy Seabolt and there's a different somebody. Philip Kukic, whoever that is. Yeah, we're just trying to follow some weird stuff going on at this point. Anyway, while all that was happening, Seth Carr did get around Braden Tharp, who laid it down from the race lead. He's now back to 4th, and Cade Matherly took over the race lead. So things are getting a little bit wonky at the front of the field, and Matherly suddenly finds himself in the lead. Also, Matherly stands a chance at a 4% pick trend in the channel points right now, as Axis voted 1,000 channel points for Matherly to win. If Matherly wins, Axis would win 23,000 channel points. So you go.
That's huge. That's a lot of hydrating we're going to need to do. We're going to need to bring in a freaking giant cooler up here next week and start pounding some. As it's gotten hotter here in SoCal, we might need some lattes to cool off with. But Matherly with a great ride so far. I mean, he was just coming back from 3rd place, guys. It wasn't too crazy. And Seth Carr is trying to do the Seth Carr don't crash every 3 laps challenge. Impossible. So we'll see what he can do right now. He's pushing right now in front of Logan Leitzel down this hill. Love this high-speed section. This is turns a little bit different than it used to. That's the section where James Stewart went down and Eli Tomac. No,
Yeah. Sorry, I was just shaking my neck a little bit.
Kellen had a weird little twitch of the neck, and I thought you were shaking no at me. He does know. He does know way more stuff. He's an encyclopedia of moto, so I was about to shut up real quick. But Logan Leitzel right here just pushing, man, and these two seem pretty evenly matched when they are together. Logan Leitzel's obviously thrown down the hottest laps of the race, but no real huge fall-offs, it seems. Maybe just a couple small mistakes in between, whereas Carr's been pushing up and going down.
Yeah, so Matherly's 4 seconds up the road from these guys, and I wonder if these two battling each other might make it a little bit better for Matherly out front because they're focused on each other. Carr's maybe trying to defend as Leitzel's going every which direction to try to make this pass, and maybe they're slowing each other down because they were only a couple seconds back. Now they're almost 5 seconds off the lead, and Leitzel's going as far outside as he can. He's taking every different rut he can think of to try to make this work on Seth Carr right now.
Did you see him? He tucked his front, dragged his bar, shroud, and shoulder, but just was able to jackknife it back up onto two wheels and barely lost any time in that outside line there. Yeah, I love the way that Logan Leitzel is riding this track. Seth Carr is obviously in front. He's able to do it the fast way and pick whatever lines he wants. Logan Leitzel, who actually must have just
did he just go down?
I think he slid out. Or
a little slide out, yeah.
He's just been pushing, just missing the ruts a little bit. But when you're running that elite pace and you're the fastest rider on the track, I guess that comes with the territory a little bit. He's just not going down off the bike like Carr has been, but both of these riders unable to pull back up towards Matherly yet as Carr goes down again.
And Tharp just went down on the rollers in the background. Panini falling apart a little bit in this moto. So 24% of you picked other, and the other that is represented at the front of the field right now is Logan Leitzel, who was fourth at that 10-minute mark of the moto when we decided to lay out the picks, and he is charging forward 5.8 seconds off the lead. Little mistake right there.
Matherly? We didn't have his gear, right?
Oh, yeah, Matherly was down at the bottom of the hill. I didn't even notice him, but yes, he was down, and Logan Leitzel has taken the lead here in Thunder Valley.
Yeah, Matherly was just off that outside rut there. Must have kind of got a little bit of huckabuck, went over there, and he was kind of stuck in the banner there. And it looked like a lapper because we don't have everyone's gear, and I forgot that that's something that we had missing for Matherly. So he goes down, loses that spot, and now all of you who voted other for this race win right now are represented out front nicely by Logan Leitzel as he makes his way through lappers, slicing and dicing and trying to pull a gap here. As we are 25 minutes into this moto, 4.5 minutes left, plus 2 laps, and he can take this thing home.
Ooh, swapping down the hill right there, and nice job to save it as somebody yards in the background. A lap rider back there, not sure who that was, maybe Tyler Nichols, but yeah, 24% of you guys picked Logan Leitzel. Brax88M laid 4,000 channel points down on the other option, and he stands to win over 16,000 channel points as it runs. So congrats to Brax if it stays this way. Battle for second is still on. Seth Carr and Cade Matherly going at it after that crash from Matherly, and this is the group now. 25 seconds behind the lead is Tharp. Our top three is really what is going to be the settling point at the front of this field in the final closing laps of this race. Now Carr is back on his horse again. The question is, can he close a gap down from 5 seconds up to Leitzel, who had been matching his pace?
Yeah, Leitzel was matching him, but Carr seems like he's just been running consistently just slower than what Logan Leitzel's fastest lap of the race is, but he's been making those mistakes. So if he can really eliminate those mistakes, he can definitely get up there and take a shot at this win here as this moto goes later on. But he's just really got to eliminate those big mistakes and just put down the rest of the race. You can't fall, basically, is what he's got to do. Get through the lappers cleanly and don't go down. And I think we'll have a fight to the death here at the end of this moto.
This is going to be a fun closing stanza of this race down to the final 3 minutes and 2 laps left to go. Seth Carr stands it up on that outside rut at the bottom of the downhill right there. Just trying to get through some lap traffic ever so nicely. That looks like the 378 of ML Hool, I believe, getting out of the way in 32nd place and does a nice job of swooping to the outside again. Matherly is going to funnel to this inside rut and just follow Seth Carr through. So this battle is still not over, despite the mistakes both riders have seemingly had back and forth a little bit, and they're still just 5 seconds off the race lead behind Logan Leitzel. So who has the upper hand at this point as Carr continues to push the envelope, but I feel like Matherly's starting to find his pace as well.
Yeah, Madley seems to be flowing as this track's breaking down a little bit more. It looks like he likes being able to lay into these big these ruts kind of turn into a little bit of wall berms. If you can get into them cleanly through the braking bumps, you can just lay it over and really carry your speed right here. These guys, he knows they're both searching for the right line throughout this lap traffic. Car pushes his front end there and ends up going over with both wheels, and he loses the position to Matherly as they come up this hill. And man, that's just been the story of this moto, right, Cullen? Car just with great speed. Looks like he should be winning the race, but just can't keep it together cleanly.
Yeah, tough break for Carr as he pushed that nose over the front of that rut, and now he has the work to do again to make another pass on Cade Matherly. So time is not going to expire this time by, and most likely will the next time by. So we're looking at 3 laps to go as this battle for second still raging on. 6 seconds off of our leader, Logan Leitzel, who laid in a 2:11. Matherly was the fastest of this group on the track last time by, but they could just continue fighting each other, maybe slowing that pace down ever so slightly and not able to make a run at our race leader. Leitzel just clicking off the laps, doing what he knows how to do to win these races. He's a champ for a reason in this game, and all these guys are doing the chasing right now, trying to make something happen with just raw speed.
Yeah, Carr actually lost some ground there after the finish line. He had gained it back after his mistake right there, and then within like 2 corners pulled so much time on Cade Matherly. So that just shows you how much more speed he has than the rest of these guys. You could see how gnarly this downhill is. So choppy into this big wall rut right there that they're going to rail around. Then up to these tight insides. There's about 6 different ruts in this corner. And then look at this, how treacherous this downhill is. Seems a little bit better than what it used to be, though. I didn't like the big sweeping ruts with braking bumps consistently the whole time. You were pretty much locked in. But man, these tight sections, these guys have to be dialed every single lap of the race, and that's just where Carr has made those mistakes. See him clip right there, able to keep it on 2 wheels. But he's just got so much more speed than Cade, as you see him pulling up closer to him, but just has not been able to eliminate the mistakes.
Yeah, launching that big triple into this left-handed sweeper. Great onboard perspective late in this moto to see kind of where everyone still is going in the main lines that they're taking, but also how deep some of those main lines are getting. I know it's maybe a little bit tough to see with the depth perception, but if you remember early in the moto, some of those ruts that just look like massive shadows really were not that deep at all, and that just shows how deep they've gotten throughout the duration of this race with everyone hitting those same lines. I thought Carr was going to bounce awkwardly into that corner, but he is pushing the pace, man, trying to make something happen on Cade Matherly. They're still 5 seconds behind Leitzel, who is doing a terrific job of managing the gap, and this time by, they're going to see the 2-lap card coming out as we cross the finish line jump.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really gaining at all. Leitzel's just been smooth and consistent out front. I mean, one mistake and it could be all over. It's only 5 seconds, but you see how hard Carr and Matherly are pushing back here. They're not really battling each other, so right now this is really just in their own helmets going as fast as they can. And look at that mistake that Carr makes, just a small one, not doubling across those, getting caught up in those braking bumps. And every single time he's doing that, he's losing about a tenth or 2. And when you do that multiple times around the track, that's what ends up making you that much slower and lets Logan Leitzel just keep pulling away. But they're not slowing each other down by battling. They're just trying to push and push and push and get as far up as they can. And right now, just too many mistakes out of these two and just maybe unable to match the pace that Logan Leitzel's doing up front.
Well, I'll tell you what, Leitzel must have made a bobble somewhere because the lap times were quite similar, but Leitzel's only 2 flat seconds ahead of Cade Matherly, and it's dropped to under 2 seconds. Matherly is on a charge right now to try to get Logan Leitzel. There is lap traffic absolutely everywhere, trying to duck and weave to get out of the way. Leitzel taking some different options through that corner as Matherly, kind of pinballs through those ruts a little bit. And it looks like Carr has dropped off this. So now it's Matherly versus Leitzel, at least for the time being, to come down and try to win this moto. Leitzel 2.3 seconds up the track, 2:09.6 last time by, but Matherly laid in a 2:09.2. So even was a little bit faster. And man, Leitzel's got to try to start riding defensively here soon.
Yeah, I mean, the only good thing is that he has, besides just only 1 lap left to go when he crosses the finish line this time, is that he does have lap traffic that can get in between him and these other guys that are chasing him. Every time you see him pass someone, that's one more small obstacle that these guys have to take. It's just one rut that gets taken away on the track that they cannot use. So Logan Leitzel gets those to his advantage for being out front, separated from the rest of these guys. But he's looking great, and yeah, he had a great lap time going across. Must have just made a small mistake after the finish line that tightened it back up. But look, already now it seems like he's already pulling the gap away just a little bit.
Yeah, well, it looks like he must have gotten hung up by the lap traffic group that Matherly just went through, because Matherly did gain that time and then kind of lost it again going through that group himself. So 3 seconds in it at the flag this time by. White flag is in the air. The final lap of the race, 250 Moto 1 from Thunder Valley. That is the gap. Leitzel back to Cade Matherly into turn 1 we go. Look at how deep that rut has gotten on the inside through turn 1 as well. And now if you're Matherly here, well, I was going to say Seth Carr was only 5 seconds behind him, but Carr went down again, so it's between these two. If you're Matherly, is it full send? Because you're going to get a second regardless, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and this gap is getting tighter, and so I think, honestly, it's just push as fast as you can. The worst you could do if you fall, I mean, you could do worse. I've fallen off multiple times in one lap before, especially on the last lap, but you're really thinking, okay, if I have one fall or blow one rut and I tip over, I just lost it. But if I don't push as hard as I can and try to put down the fastest lap I can possibly do, I got no shot at winning. So I think Matherly is going to be sending it, and you're going to see that, but that might also lead to more mistakes.
Let's see what happens on this final lap as Leitzel jumping to the outside right here, just trying to find some smooth piece of the racetrack. And actually that one worked out really well for him right there, as he is trying to navigate the final half of this lap around Thunder Valley and win this first moto. He's opened the gap out over 3 seconds again, so Matherly had tightened it up, but Leitzel found a little bit of extra speed coming through those switchbacks on the downhill to open it back up. And at this point, it seems as though Leitzel just needs to stay on 2 wheels, and this one is his.
Yeah, I think you'll see his corner speed and a couple things that he does a little bit slowed down now that he knows he has that buffer and he's not as close. Really quick, I do want to give a shout out to Ollie Cruz and Maverick Snyder in 6th and 7th place. They're a little bit far back, but they're inside that top 10, sandwiched in between some big names that scroll across the top of the screen. Both of those 3-digit riders having really, really great rides, and I just wanted to shout them out in support of their great ride here in this first moto. But Logan Leitzel is the one probably taking it home.
Yeah, Logan Leitzel down past the mechanics area one final time, up and through that big roller to the finish line jump. Whew. Logan Leitzel takes 250 Moto 1 here at Thunder Valley. And Matherly is going to cross 4 seconds down at the line. He got it close, but it wasn't close enough. Seth Carr probably going to kick himself, had many opportunities to win this moto, and ultimately will not get it done. He'll finish up in 3rd, and then a massive gap back to this gentleman who deserves some serious golf claps. Luke Sullivan from way down the field gets all the way up to 4th, and so long as he doesn't crash a few times on this final lap, this 4th place is going to be his. He's got a big gap back to Tharp. Tharp is still dealing. Nah, that's actually a lapped rider, Emil Hull, right behind him. How about this fight, though? This is Ollie Cruz and Maverick Snyder, those guys you just gave credit to. Cruz jumps off the track. He's going to jump back right on as Evan Holt right there on the District Kawasaki slides through.
Stevenson right there as well.
Yeah, Stevenson around the outside on the 12 also made a pass. So now Snyder's dealing with the pressure on the final lap here from Holtze and the 12 of Stevenson, I should say.
Yeah, Tharp's out in front, but right now Snyder was holding on to 5th place. Is going to lose that position right there. Man, what a bummer. Holtz goes around the outside there. Look at Hayden Stevenson trying to make a pass up the inside as well. Those two are bar to bar in those ruts right there behind him. Stevenson blows the corner. Snyder's going to hold on to the position as far as it goes. And man, Ollie Cruz drops back 3 positions in the last half a lap. Stevenson goes down actually behind him, so that's going to allow Cruz by. Man, what a battle to the finish. 36.5 minutes later, and these guys, their battle comes down. All of those 4 guys inside the top 10, so close.
Oh, Lucas Brune down at the
Brune
line.
goes down, loses to Wilczek and
Kukic, Wilczek, and then Brune crosses the line
in the last
11,
quarter. 2 spots to drop out of the top 10.
Oh my goodness, Lucas Brune. Jackson Vick, who was leading this race at one point, ends up 13th. Colin Holden, a good ride for him as well. Jeff Cooper 15th, Ryan Chelsea 16th, Seabolt 17th, going at it with Jack Mark on the 100. Max Wilczek hater, hashtag certified for Jack Mark through the final corner. Not going to get there on Seabolt. Good attempt. Ben Nerona also in 19th, and Race Cobble in 20th. I was told that they are doing the real life point scoring system this year, so this would actually be the final point score in 21st place, Jaden Gomez, because IRL 21st now gets a single point.
So is it 26 for a win now?
No, it's 25, 22, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, or something like that.
Okay, so no more 20, 18, 16 top fives, all two apart, except for.
I think
it's so dumb.
Yeah, maybe
dude.
third to fourth is still 18, and then 17 now for fifth, something like that. And so you get a point for 21st.
I guess that's how you add one more in there. That's just so dumb.
All right,
top 20.
Cuts are in. Logan Leitzel is the winner of this one. He was our other category for those who bet. So congratulations to our winner. Yeah, 4-1 odds right there for the winners of the other category. Biggest winner by far out of this one goes to Brax88M. 4,000 channel points he laid in. He's going to walk away with over 16,000 channel points. Another 20,000 or another 10,000 channel points go to 6 other people who bet the other side of the coin here. Those of you, 17,400 channel points laid in on Seth Carr. 67% of people thought he was going to win that moto early on, and he ends up third in this race. Tough break.
Yeah, bummer for him, but I mean, he knows what he needs to do, and I don't know if it's. I mean, I don't know what he needs to do. Is it slow it down a second or two a lap and just try to keep it together and where you can hit your marks? Like, was he just, because it wasn't even as the track was getting super developed and super rutted that he was having the mistakes. It was kind of all throughout the moto. Every 2 or 3 laps, Seth Carr would make a huge mistake and go down. It's just eliminating those. I think he would have had kind of a runaway lead. Logan Leitzel was able to come from so far back and just get all the way up to the lead and just ride smooth, consistent laps at the end. Didn't really keep throwing down complete heaters nonstop. He was just able to keep it smooth. So I think Seth Carr just needs to kind of go back to the drawing board, maybe take a small break, ride around a little bit during the 450 motos and kind of see the track and just get it, be able to ride smooth. Try to go out there and put down 6 laps in a row without falling or something, and just try to bring that to the motos, because he's got to do something.
Absolutely has to do something out there. So we'll see if he's able to turn it around or not. Sorry for the quietness over here. I'm just trying to figure something out.
You're fine. I'm trying to think. Jacob Hubbard told us the other night not to pick him for unlimited hole shots because he's either bad at the track or something like that. I don't know if it was even for this weekend, because he was trying to sweep the series and get a hole shot every single moto. He's done it through 4 motos so far, but made a comment. I'm wondering if our channel poll for everyone to bet their points on should just be Jacob Hubbard, yes or no, because right now he's 4 for 4. And I think that would maybe be a fun one to do a first 50-50 in this 450 class, because we do have someone who's undefeated in something so far. Cullen is working on something right now. Not a huge deal. I'm going to keep rambling on. Everyone's favorite thing to do. No, you're fine. That's what I'm here for. But man, I really like the racing that we saw in that first 250 moto. Something that I wanted to talk about during the race as well was you see these guys making mistakes when, as we watch in those first person cameras, these ruts get so developed because the erode system that MX Simulator has in it. And they start out, they look like they've got some shading, but they're actually just really small, broken or kind of drawn in ruts just as a guide there for the racers to use. And then as every rider hits it, it slowly digs down and builds up every single pass. And we see riders make a mistake as they go into the ruts early on with too much speed, just thinking it's going to hold them. So something to kind of look out for as you're watching these races. Thunder Valley might have more turns on the track than any other track on the series. It just loops back and forth so many times. There's off cambers, gnarly downhills. There's wall berms at the end that are holding these guys on. So try to keep an eye on just people kind of pushing their front end over these ruts, blowing the corners as they're early on in these laps, as they're just trying to push a little bit too hard. And that's something that we say you don't normally get the fastest lap of the race on the first 1, 2, or 3 laps. It normally comes midway towards the end when they have these giant ruts for them to bank off of and rail. So just keep an eye on that as a viewer while you're out there watching the beginning of this 450 moto.
Sorry, I just...
Yeah, Hubbard is a psychopath. Kellen is still working on something. Hubbard is such a whole shot tryhard, as iMoto asked in chat. Hubbard's clutch is on a trigger. So most riders have like their right trigger that's modulated is their gas, and their left trigger, whether you're on a or L2 if you're on the PlayStation controller, is your front brake that you're able to kind of feather and do. And he is such a psychopath that his I think something's on like his stick that's not supposed to be on it, but it allows him to not just dump the clutch. Like my button was on B on the Xbox controller, so I just dropped the clutch when I let go of that. He's able to actually let the clutch out smoothly, and I think that's such a big part of why he gets the starts that he does.
All right, let's pick a whole shot winner, brought to you by the Design Lab code for 450 Moto number 1. Let's just have Hubbard in by default. And who do you want? Leclerc? Leclerc. Pick one.
Vial. Pablo Vial.
Vial. Or other. Only a minute on this one. Let's go ahead and start your predictions if you want to get in on the channel points there, brought to you by the Design Lab Co. Pick a winner. We got Hubbard, Leclerc, Vial, or other for the whole shot pick. Only 49 seconds left on that one, so get those channel points in. A lot of people I think will go Hubbard, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what everyone's throwing down right here as 450 Moto 1 gets ready to go to the gate. Up, my timer is already loading. I did not want that. There we go. So we will load it in. We might even get a whole shot across the line before we even get to end this submission for the goals. So we'll see. Tried to pick a timer that was quick and fast. I'm doing this on the fly, but here we go. 450 Moto number 1 on the gate. Adam Holm going to try to get a good start. Austin Bear out of the LCQ. Let's see how those guys do. Devin Davis, Bryce Whelan's down the far inside, and it looks like we will not actually get there with the timer. So here we go.
Yeah, it's close.
It's going to be pretty close. Braden Carter down the far inside line. Alexis Leclerc, a few others up there as well. Let's go racing. 450 Moto 1 from Thunder Valley.
See, I'm not.
Carter with a good jump, gets to the corner first. Hubbard goes wide, and he tucks the front wheel. Braden Carter picks up the Studio 8 whole shot. 46% of you chose another rider than the ones that we picked, and Carter gets it there. So congrats to those that got the channel points. Around the outside goes Payson Johnson trying to take the lead on Carter. Not going to happen just yet as they drag race up the uphill.
Yeah,
Johnson down. Yeah, he gets hit from behind.
Ooh.
Don't see who that is.
That's a Panini rider.
Yeah, that's Castellaneta, and a Panini rider. Was that Seth Shirley who went down? It was on the 2. Down with Payson Johnson on the opening lap.
Yeah, bummer early on, but Payson Johnson, if we know anyone's got the speed to get up there, he can. Alexis Leclerc was initially behind Braden Carter, but works his way up into the lead with Tyler Lang and Ethan Gurst following shortly behind. And that's going to be changing as we see a huge pack behind these guys. But Alexis Leclerc, known good starter, wasn't first to the gate, but early on. And I think this might be Leclerc, the race that we see him kind of separate and kind of get away from these guys and take his first win.
Well, aside from T-Lang in second, there's not really the biggest of heavy hitters right behind him. Braden Carter crashed while we were not looking at him in the lead. He's down in 17th. Seth Shirley 18th. You got Payson Johnson 19th. Jacob Hubbard 21st. So some big names. Pablo Vial 29th. Buried down the field. Alexis Leclerc was begging for a good start. He did not have very good ones to start off this season. Rare for the 5-time national champ. But now the number 1 plate is number 1 on the racetrack, and he's bringing the 2021 champ T-Lang with him.
Yeah, I mean, 2 past champions as 1 and 2, and we had a past champion in the Supercross get the whole shot. This 450 field is just littered with them. So really cool to see these 2 up front early and see what Tyler Lang can do. Had a great showing at Paula. Wasn't the fastest man on the track, but was able to throw down very smooth, consistent lap times. Leclerc has been known to do all sorts of things. He can be the fastest guy ever on the track. He can be very, very consistent, or he can be a little bit inconsistent like we've seen so far this year. So maybe this is the round where it clicks. A lot of ruts, and Leclerc is really good at that normally. So it'll be fun to see a battle between these two as they're really separated themselves from the field so far early on.
Yeah, they're 4 seconds up on Nico Marchini, who's the rider in the 3 spot right now for TSCZ Productions. The 53, there's Blakely, now moving into a good spot in 4th. And then Frank Jackson right up alongside the 32 of Bodie Parker as they both scrub it down coming up the uphill. So a good fight for some of these guys early in the moto. They're going to be really stoked with some good starts as well as some of our more perennial front runners are having to do the heavy lifting throughout the field. I'm trying to keep an eye on where Payson Johnson has gotten to. Seth Surley's already in 11th place. Payson Johnson, I think, crashed again, maybe? I don't even see him. Oh, he's down in 25th for our championship leader. So talk about having to charge through the field. iMoto in chat says we could do channel points for charge through the field, but I feel like most likely it's going to be Payson.
I mean, I was going to say it would be fun to kind of spread them out and almost handicap guys. Seth Shirley in 10th, someone that's in 7th, and then maybe not hard charger, but who finishes highest in the Moto results here. And then Payson Johnson is handicapped back there all the way outside the top 20, but people could still bet on him and know that he's got a chance to make it past all those guys. If we did a Chase Blakely, Seth Shirley, Payson Johnson or something like that, I think that could be pretty interesting here. Chase Blakely right now on his BPC KTM, leading around a couple of riders here, but trying to hold on and just hold on to this lead he's got over these two right now.
Yeah, this is your fight for 4th.
Frank
Blakely
Jackson,
and
though?
Frank Jackson on the
Trying to
28.
push.
Yep. Bodie Parker on the 32 hanging out in the background as well. So a couple low double-digit guys all having a nice battle here. And look at that outside move. Frank Jackson takes over the 4 spot on Chase Blakely. I don't think we've given really enough credit to Frank Jackson this year. He has been a perennial top 5 threat through the first 3 rounds of the season. And we know Frank Jackson is good, but I feel like this is a whole different level for him.
Yeah, he definitely separated himself and made huge gains this season coming into outdoors. You don't really talk about him too much when it's during the Supercross season. I feel like he's not there as consistently, but I feel like almost every round this year, I've seen Frank Jackson in 4th place. And I just think that's where he is. He's got in 3rd, he falls back, but he finishes, anywhere from like 4th to 7th. But man, he is riding awesome. I've tried to shout him out once or twice, but we've never really been able to actually watch him because there's been so much other stuff going on. And I think just on this underground RC ride, Frank Jackson has got to be very proud of his season, and I think he's easily my biggest surprise of the season so far.
So down the outside into the 4 position, Frank Jackson now putting on a charge to try to close up to Nico Marchini, who's had a nice quiet ride in 3rd to this point. Let's poke our head back out front for just a moment and see the gap. Not too far just yet. Leclerc still leading this thing from Tyler Lang, 2 seconds up. Leclerc fastest lap of the race at a 2:08.085. Last time by was about a second and a half faster than T Lang, but Lang still laying in a very solid 2:09. Everybody else throughout the field kind of in the 2 teens and back or so. So these guys certainly have the upper hand at the moment. And I wonder if both of them are kind of thinking yeah, we want to race each other, but also let's just get out front. Let's get far away, and then we can have a battle royale for the win after that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of nice having a 4 or 5 second gap early on, which I don't even think it's that big right now between these two. But if you're Tyler Lang, you're really just you got a great start. You're out front. You have a huge gap behind you. Cool, Leclerc's 3 seconds in front of you, but what you're going to do is just put down consistent laps, ride your own race. Don't even think about trying to make a pass, and it's actually only 2 seconds right now. Just looks a little bit bigger on how fast this racetrack is. But I think if I'm Tyler Lang, I put down my laps and I hit my smooth lines that I can try to be consistent at. And if it ends up in me passing Leclerc, cool, I did it. But if it ends up now 20 minutes later and we've got 4 minutes left in the moto, and then now I'm right on him, then I can try to make a move. But yeah, these two it's basically try not to fall, put in your lap times, and get a guaranteed top 2. And if that ends up with you winning, you won. And if it ends up with you second, that's also a win in my book.
Well, both of these guys dipped into the 208s, 208.3 for Leclerc, 208.4 for T-Lang. But Frank Jackson, new fastest lap of the race in 3rd at a 207.9. Now, he is 10 seconds off the lead at the moment. But if you look in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll notice a green dot in the lead, the red arrow of Lang that we're on, and then a little white dot right behind them. That's Frank Jackson. They are gone from the rest of the field, man. There's a pretty big gap established from our front 3 back to the rest of the field.
Yeah, and I mean, you had Payson Johnson down early, way back. You had Seth Shirley, who was down around 10th place, fell back again, back to 14th, someone in chat said. So really, it's these 3 versus themselves, right? Unless you go down, you're not really getting caught by someone back there. We can check in. Maybe there is someone that's dropping 2 seconds lap faster and can close that gap. But if you keep it on 2 wheels, you're not really going to get caught by that pack. So this is just a 3-man race right here. And I think this is going to be awesome for these guys. And if I'm Frank Jackson, you told me 3-4 years ago that I would be in a moto and I would run a faster lap time than Alexis Leclerc, I think I would be mind blown, because I don't think he's ever done that before. And man, this is just a completely different year for Frank Jackson.
Yeah, man, he is absolutely cooking. I want to give a couple shout outs, by the way. Kind of missed it as we were rolling through stuff, but OG BBC, which is Braden Carter, who's still in this moto, by the way, in 35th place right now, resubbed for his 47th month of resubbing here on the channel. Always be sure to sub up if you can, whether it's on the YouTube or the Twitch. Very much appreciate the support. And Carl Novak as well resubbed for his 3rd month. So thanks, Carl Novak, for the subs there as well. Appreciate the support. Yeah, update from iMoto in the chat. I saw it pop up on my screen as well. 33rd place, Pablo Vial goes a 2:07.8. He was the fastest rider on the track last time by. Kind of funny how that's all working out. But as we say that, new fastest lap again. This man right here, Frank Jackson, at a 2:07.57. The leaders 1, 2, 3 were all in the 2:07 range, but Frank Jackson once again fastest of the 3.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running a 2:07.5, which is fastest lap of the race, and the 2 guys ahead of you are also in the 2:07s, that just means these guys are so close. You're running like 2:07.8, 2:07.7, and it's 2:07.5. Like, these guys are just so evenly matched right now. It's really who's going to make the first mistake, and that can close a bunch of time. And looks like Alexis Leclerc made a mistake, he's out of the lead. He's about to get passed by Frank Jackson for 2nd and move back to 3rd. Frank Jackson with railing that outside line. And man, what a great ride by him. He's just really amazing me right now.
So the first real blemish for the defending champ here in this moto, he drops back to 2nd. Alexis Leclerc on that whatever cryptocurrency that is machine. Samo. But it's T-Lang back to the front. JIBR.co taking over the race lead. And I'll tell you what, man, Tyler Lang, it really wasn't a good Supercross season for him. He had some good moments, some good races, but not quite the same T-Lang we had seen. And I don't know about you, A Wood, maybe you don't feel this way, but sometimes in this game, there's like that falling off point. Like you're really good, and then eventually suddenly you're just back to normal again. Like T-Lang was a god for a while in this game, and I thought Supercross kind of showed, okay, we're back to just T-Lang's, he's a good rider, but not the same anymore, you know? But I think T-Lang's back. Outdoor T-Lang is here.
I agree. I think it's one of those riders. It's hard to find like real life comps of people that were out of level and they fell off, right? And they were irrelevant for a little bit. And not that Tyler Lang was when you're, getting 10th place, 15th place in main events, but you weren't relevant in championship chases for how long, right? You're able to make enough points, keep your number. But Tyler Lang just came out and he's like, yeah, I'm a race winner and I'm a champion again. And really, I don't know, you've tried to do this too. Try to get back in sim and ride and put down some fast laps. Can I qualify again? Could I race again? Where could I be? And yeah, we might be able to qualify, but you're not going to be back inside the top 5 like we once were. These guys are just on a whole nother level. And I think Tyler Lang is like one of those people. Even Jack Haley, who is a championship champion more recent than I think Tyler Lang was, has had struggles taking a break from the game and getting back into it at a high level.
Yeah, Leclerc sliding going up the uphill as they're still giving chase to Tyler Lang in the race lead. Leclerc has just got some heat, man. He's got Frank Jackson breathing down his neck, and no surprise to see a new fastest lap of the race laid in by Payson Johnson, now up to P10, 30 seconds behind the leader. He's the first person all day to dip into the 206s at a 206.828 for Payson Johnson, 10th place at the moment. We'll keep tracks on him throughout this moto. Getting to the point though where this front 3 breakaway seems like it's going to be between them to settle it. We said that in the 250 moto though, there was a bit of a gap established. I know Leitzel was hanging on the hip of those guys, but Tharp went from in a position to win that moto early on to finishing a minute behind. But are we at a point now where we can look at this front 3 and think, okay, this is where the battle's going to lie the rest of this moto?
Yeah, I mean, someone could get...
T-Lang's down. Sorry to... Whoa! He flipped off the track and landed it on the bottom of your screen. If you were watching that on the camera, you saw a Honda completely sideways at the bottom of the hill, and he somehow corralled it together to save it. Sorry to jump in there, but that was crazy.
I mean, we got Anthony Pachon, Killian Ortiz, Buddy Parker, and Payson Johnson all the way up to 7th, but Payson Johnson is 30 seconds back, and he's not... We haven't seen him... I guess maybe he was last time around the fastest rider on the track, but it's not like he's got this 4 seconds faster lap speed where he can make it back. There's not that many laps in these outdoor motos where you can make it a time up. We're almost halfway through. So yeah, maybe he gets back. I think if one of these guys in the top 3 right now ends up outside the top 3, it's them 50 seconds back and they fell a bunch of times. But man, look at this. All 3 of these guys almost halfway into this moto, and these guys are all separated by about 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, so as you said that, Payson Johnson must have crashed. He went back to 13th. Seth Shirley still down in 17th. Hubbard 21st. Braden Carter's 37th. I think he's probably about to call it a moto here, but Pablo Vial's charged up to 26, so mixed bag all throughout the field. Your top 10 is still Tyler Lang, Alexis Leclerc, Frank Jackson, Killian Ortiz, Bodie Parker inside the top 5, Marcini, Pachone, Pilsner, Castellaneta, and Blakely is the top 10, as Shirley lays in fastest lap at a 2:06.5 in 17th.
Yeah, Shirley absolutely ripping. Look at this, how close Leclerc is on Tyler Lang right now. Leclerc, that's Samo. Ooh, Leclerc's going outside. Unable to make the pass. We're going into another left-hander here and not going to be on the inside going here. Samo Yegcoin up 70% in the last month. Good job, Leclerc, but down in the last week. So
and Lang went
Leclerc
down with the race
crypto.
lead.
No.
That gives it over to Leclerc. Frank Jackson is still hanging out behind him, though, and suddenly the battle for the lead goes from Leclerc to Lang to Leclerc versus Frank Jackson for the P1 position on the racetrack. I think Lang just got a little overzealous there, having Leclerc on his heels, reacted to the pressure from the one, and laid it down.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit of pressure to actually go and throw down a heater, where before in other times this year he's been kind of riding and just ride at his own pace and just has had that pace. But when you get the lead and it's like Leclerc's hunting you, not even a half second back, right on that rear wheel, it can get really nerve-wracking. But man, I love the way Frank Jackson is absolutely sending right now. And what I think is I think he's kind of comfortable pushing. He looks like he's really in the zone on this. This is his best racetrack so far, and his best race is he's gaining on Leclerc slowly but surely. And man, I honestly think this could be Frank Jackson's first win right here this moto. He is looking spicy. And
Jackson is pushing on to Alexis Leclerc's rear fender. We are at the halfway point of this moto. 15 minutes have come, 15 minutes have gone. So here we go. Let's see what happens in this battle for the race lead. While we do that, we're going to start another prediction. Leclerc, Jackson, T-Lang, or someone else who wins this moto with 15 minutes left to go. Get your bets in, lay those channel points in, and see who is going to get this done. Leclerc versus Frank Jackson, a battle maybe not many of us expected to be the one for the win here in the first moto, but it is a doozy halfway through this one.
Yeah, and I think it would be awesome for Frank Jackson to get his first moto win here. But Alexis Leclerc is just a proven veteran. But man, the way Frank Jackson is riding behind him, it's absolutely amazing. Railing these outsides, Leclerc, I love the speed difference that you get in these long insides, outsides at Thunder Valley that end up pretty much even. But man, I think, yeah, this is still anyone's race up front because this track just gets rougher and faster and deeper as it goes on. So whoever is going to come in first, I don't even think I could have a prediction right now.
Well, it seems pretty evenly split between Leclerc and Frank Jackson right now. A couple people laid in an other bet. Someone bet 10 channel points on someone other than these two winning, and that's at a 213-1 odd right now. So, I mean, if you have someone like Killian Ortiz who wins this moto, you never know. But the battle for the lead is on. Jackson side by side with Alexis Leclerc on the downhill. Not going to get there yet. Going to try to swoop this outside to in. Leclerc defends the line nicely. So where does Jackson line up a pass now? He's done a pretty good job of hanging with Leclerc, but where does he actually get this pass done?
I mean, I've seen a couple downhill sections. I really like this section as well. He was going outside, though, there, and it does leak to the outside, but Leclerc is able to protect. I think there's a couple downhill sections that he's railing the outsides that Leclerc is going inside, and all it takes is one small bobble. Frank Jackson did lose a little bit of time there, but I think there's still a possibility that he gets this done soon.
Up to the mechanics area we go, and Leclerc going to bring us down to lead the end of lap number 8. It is still a terrific fight for the win. Alexis Leclerc versus Frank Jackson. 7 seconds behind these guys is Tyler Lang, then a massive gap back to Braden Castellaneta and Colby Eaglin dicing it up for 4th right now. But all eyes on this battle at the front. And what is going to happen? Can Frank Jackson make something happen? Oh, Frank Jackson's down. He must have hit that SpongeBob. Just saw it off the corner of my eye. He kind of disappeared. I didn't see how he got there, but he does go down. So the bets are in. 59% of you think Leclerc is going to win this moto, but T-Lang is now on his horse, only 6 seconds off the lead, and was the fastest of the lead group last time by. Can T-Lang wrangle back in the 5-time and defending national champion?
I tried to get a huge bet in on T-Lang right there, and it was not processing because I was like, he's going to come. And God damn it.
SMX come, where you at?
Hey, he's going to come up and take this lead over. And, man, the odds that I was seeing on him, Tyler Lang is 177-1, so it's going to be wild. I mean, that would have changed if I put in a bunch of points, but man, I was hoping to get a big W right there. Alexis Leclerc's got to be shaking in his boots right now. He got some breathing room from Frank Jackson going down, but Tyler Lang is going to be back up there soon. I'm sure of it.
Well, 818 laid in a 40 channel point bet on T-Lang to win this moto. If he checks out and gets it done, 7,000 channel points to 818. That would be pretty cool to see him get that win if T-Lang is able to come through and get it from Leclerc. And as I say that, Lang drops a little bit more time now. He's 7 seconds off of Leclerc and actually starting to slip back into the clutches of Frank Jackson again. We talked about these lead guys a lot. Let's go back to some other battles because Braden Castellaneta has done a good job of charging forward, and he's bringing with him Braden Castellaneta, or actually, excuse me, Colby Eaglin right behind him in 4th and 5th. So this is a good fight for 4th still going on. And then another 4 seconds behind them as they come down this hill. Woo! Castellaneta had a kick and a half. Eaglin, nice job to swap and save his as well. But here is the championship leader, Payson Johnson. We haven't seen him much at all this moto. He has done a lot of charging forward, crashing, charging forward again. He's still 40 seconds off the lead, but just continuing to lay in quick times.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that bad because earlier on, 4th place was 30 seconds back, so to be where he is and only 40 seconds back after going down is not that bad. Colby Eaglin right now is our hard charger of the race. He's gained the most positions so far in this moto, thanks to iMoto251 in chat for that stat right there. But, man, Payson Johnson and Eaglin have been just moving up after you go down early and you're way back in 30th. We see Braden Carter just to 27th, having straight up a bad time again here right now. He's a Supercross guy, guys. He's only won like 5 of the last 5 titles, so just let him do his thing outdoors and have fun. He's not supposed to be winning out here. Got a great start, but fell back early. But it's about these guys right now and whether they can get back up there and get in this fight. But I love this little battle we got going on right here, this little train of guys trying to at least pace each other a little bit.
Yeah, well, Payson's trying to get into 4th and maybe even have an outside shot of still getting somewhere close to a podium with this the closing 10 minutes of this race. He is on Castellaneta now for 5th. Castellaneta mistake, and Johnson's going to get that position. 2 passes in 2 successive laps shuffle Castellaneta from 4th back to 6th now. Colby Eaglin has done a good job to charge into the 4 position, but he is going to have an earful of Payson Johnson before long. Meanwhile, new race leader Tyler Lang is back at the front. Leclerc threw it away, and look at that. 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack are nose to tail again. Lang, Leclerc, and Frank Jackson. You can't separate them, and this is going to be a good fight to the end between all 3.
Yeah, I mean, I love it right now. Leclerc just honestly, I don't even know who has the speed. Who has the best lap out of these 3? Is it Frank Jackson still?
Well, the best, I mean, they're all on 207s for their best lap, and Frank Jackson did go 207.5 for the best of the group.
It's just like, it's cool because they're so evenly matched. It's really just who makes a mistake, and it's not even, it kind of does suck. We haven't seen too many battles, but honestly, in MX Simulator, what you don't get too much is just really close racing for a long time. It does seem like, they're 6 seconds apart and someone crashes. Then you're 5 seconds apart and you crash. And it's like, what I really like is the fact that we've been able to see these 3 for 20 minutes so far, basically be within 5 seconds of each other, all 3 of them together, and just kind of racing and seeing them slowly rubber band. And yeah, they've made some mistakes to actually lose their positions, but I just love watching people racing close and just fighting for that 10th of a second here and there and slowly working their way up. And that's what we've been able to see with this top 3 group that we have here.
Yeah, it just is never ending. It seems like it changes every other lap who's got the upper hand of this battle. And it once again might actually be Frank Jackson. He is closed right up to the rear fender of Alexis Leclerc in this fight for second place. Still got 7.5 minutes plus 2 laps left to go in this race. And Jackson putting the heat on Leclerc in a fight for second. So if he's able to get around, we know he's got the speed to potentially run down T-Lang. And I think at this moment, he's just all focused on making something happen to get around the defending champ.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got the speed and he is able to get around Leclerc, I think he's just going to find himself on the rear wheel of Lang as he just made a small mistake there, blew the rut that he was in, maybe lost about half a second to Leclerc. But I believe that he's got the speed to work his way back up. And each of these guys have made their one big mistake, though, which is kind of cool because it almost feels like they've reset back to where they were early on. And we just going to kind of watch the fight reset. And I think Frank Jackson will get back, as I say that, gets just a weird kicker in those rollers before they even got really big, those braking bumps coming into that inside rut. He goes down hard off the bike, and that might bring him far away from these guys. Probably drops another 10 seconds unless those guys make a mistake. He's going to have a long fight back.
The commentator's curse bites Frank Jackson, and it settles it.
Love him.
It settles it down to just T-Lang versus Leclerc at the front of the field. We have got 6 minutes and 2 laps to go in this race. Tyler Lang is in control at the front to the tune of 3 seconds over Alexis Leclerc. Let's go back through the field a little bit more. It's still Colby Eagland in 4th. Payson Johnson inside the top 5 now. Pablo Vial, how about this ride from the 30 on the Panini Motorsports Fantic? He ran the fastest lap of the race while in 29th place early in this one. He's got it all the way up to 6th, and he's just been clicking off consistent laps. Man, this is honestly, it's impressive to see the charges through the field. We've seen Sullivan in the 250 class. Johnson's had to go back and forth, but Vial, an all-time ride forward in this one as well, having a great performance out here on the 30. And man, that's cool for him.
Yeah, I mean, what a great ride by him. Just a great recovery ride. All you're trying to do is gain points back in this championship. You were the fastest qualifier. You probably had so much confidence coming into this race. Got a midfield start and then dropped way back to 36th place to be able to work your way up all the way up to 6th. That's kind of the same thing Payson Johnson has done, and you can only do that when you have elite speed. And remember, Vial qualified faster than all but one rider here by 2.5 seconds in qualifying over the last day. So he's got some elite speed, and I'm really hoping that we see someone kind of uncork that. I don't know how. Hope there's not a cut. It was 2 guys that did it, but I mean, there's got to be something. We haven't really seen lap times drop that crazy. Right now, 450s and 250s have been pretty close with their lap times as far as the best lap ran in each race. I'd like to see someone just drop like a 203.
Well, I wonder if now we're at the point where the track is a little bit too beat up for anything of that sort to even happen, as T-Lane continues to have a 4-second advantage over Leclerc, Jackson, Eagland, Johnson, and then Vial, who we were watching. Yeah, the track has certainly broken down. The ruts are getting quite deep, and maybe the good window of the track has come and gone. Here's Braden Castellaneta in 7th as he swaps down the hill. He is under attack, and he's going to get past. Seth Shirley goes by into 7th place. Castellaneta's picking it up, and will do so still in 8th, just ahead of Killiam Ortiz. I haven't talked about Killiam Ortiz, but he was another name that we mentioned early in the race, battling inside of the top 5. And he is in a fight with Jacob Hubbard, another name in Hubbard, who came from way back in the field. I believe iMoto had him clocked in as 28th or so at the end of the first lap, and he's now up to 10th. So it's not all flowers and roses. I'm sure he'd like to be higher up, especially with a hole shot potentially, but Hubbard's done a good job, and he might go to 9th here on Killiam Ortiz.
Yeah, look at him making this move up the inside. I think Killiam Ortiz kind of was just fine with giving away that position. I feel like I've been there before when I'm in a spot that feels maybe a little bit out of my league, or at least with racers coming up that I know I just don't have the speed to battle with. You realize that you've lasted 26 minutes in this moto, and just like that small mistake by Hubbard, Killian might actually get back by, not able to get back past, but you just know you're like, okay, I got a great start. I put consistent laps. I don't have the speed, and as I say that, he goes down, pushes his front over the rut, with a great ride nonetheless by Killian Ortiz. And he's going to get back up and still be inside the top 10.
All right, so Ortiz gets passed by Bryce Whelan. Bryce Whelan goes into 11th. Alonzo Robin, TSCZ Productions. I'm assuming this is another European rider, name that I haven't heard much of, but TSCZ has a few of the Euro guys crushing it week in and week out on their team, and seems like this is another one of those faces that has moved up over to the U.S. side here tonight and has found himself inside of the top 10. Good ride for him. Whelan, Ortiz, Nico Marchini, Kyle Boardman's 14th. Joseph Pilsner goes off the track. He was in 15th, just drops one spot back to 16th as Ash Deering went by. Bodie Parker 17th, 18th for Anthony Pachone. Oh, Ethan Parks is in the points, just laid it down and is going to watch Devin Davis go into 19th and Chase Blakely 20th. There's Parks, Holm, Larson, Lehman, Gebhardt, Atkinson, Xander Brion, and Braden Carter in 28th. Straight up not having a good time out there. Caleb Hall, Aaron Rockefeller, just looking at the names throughout the field where some of the battles have been commencing. And, that was Seth Shirley going down out of 6. Made it all the way to 6 and then crashed. Gonna see Vial go by and a stack up in the background. That was not for position, or was it? No, it was not for position, but Shirley gonna pick it up. Oh, now Hubbard goes down in 9th. Let's get back to, and now Payson Johnson's down out of 5th. Not going to get past, but did lose some time to Frank Jackson, who he was on. Colby Eaglin's still a little bit ways back, and Alexis Leclerc now in the lead and gone.
Yeah, I mean, all those guys were going down in basically the same section, which was just crazy. No one wanted to survive that thing. Leclerc, man, he's a grinder, and he's just out front, and I mean, surviving all the challenges that were brought upon him.
Just swap coming up the uphill, got sideways.
I feel like he just hit the brakes a lot. I was like, why are you stopping? Almost came to a complete stop there. Alexis Leclerc was able to kind of take everything that these guys threw at him and survive. So great ride by him. I mean, he's a multi-time champion, and he really knows how to win races, and he's gotten off to a pretty slow start this year. I want to be curious to see if he can back this up in the second moto. It's obviously a great ride. There are guys that were able to catch up through the pack, so I'm still just not sure if his top level pace is exactly where it needs to be to kind of win one of these motos if everyone that's kind of a heavy hitter starts up front. But I mean, this is a great ride nonetheless by him, and he should be super proud. Hasn't done this yet this year, and he's able to bring it home if he can survive just a couple more laps.
Yep, so Leclerc just cruising now out front, 11 seconds up on T-Lang, and time has almost expired. It will do so this time by, so like you said, 2 laps to go coming up for Alexis Leclerc. There's Lang, and now a new third place man. Colby Eagland has found his way into third around Frank Jackson. Jackson's still hanging tough, about 4 seconds behind him, and then another 8 seconds back to this man, Payson Johnson. So the gaps have certainly opened up. Not a lot of battling going on inside of the top 10, and it's really about just holding on for these final few laps and bringing it all the way to the flag for our leaders. Leclerc's going to see the 2-lap board this time by. And this is going to be the first moto win of the year for Leclerc, I believe, right? Or did he pick up the second moto win last week? I'm drawing a blank at this point, but finally finding his groove, it seems like. I think it's his first. He's finally finding a groove is the point.
Yeah, finding his groove. I mean, it's great to see. I mean, he's been up front before too, but it didn't seem like he had the speed or the comfortability on the bike to have the consistency throughout the moto as the track broke down, and that's normally one of his strong points. He at one point was the fastest person, had it all. He's gone through phases of having that elite speed and then just elite consistency, and it's won him titles both ways. But right now it looks like he's trying to find both again, and it's looking great so far, and he's got a demanding lead early in this first moto. After all those attacks they threw at him, it's really impressive, and it's cool to see someone get back as well. This is almost reminds me of like T-Lang. It feels like in Supercross Leclerc kind of lost it and didn't have it, and it's like, is he washed? Like, is he gonna come back? And then 2.5 rounds in the outdoors, and look at this, he's back, I guess.
He's back. Alexis Leclerc, he's not back. He never left, is what he's going to say. He was here the whole time, always cooking up some good results. Just kind of looking through the field, seeing if we're going to see anything materialize late in this one. I'm not too sure. It seems like the gaps have been pretty established throughout the top 10 or so.
Let's go find a battle outside the top 10.
We got Alonso Robin right now in the 9 spot, and then Bryce Whelan right behind him. So this is a good fight here. Whelan, Ortiz, Marchini.
Oh, yeah, this is what I want.
10, 11, 12, and Marchini and Ortiz are just going at it, trying to get up to the rear fender of Bryce Whelan, who is in the 10th position. And don't look out now, because behind them comes the 2 of Seth Shirley, who's still in 13th, and he's trying to charge. Shirley just did a 2:39 last time by, so Shirley is on the struggle bus here tonight, not having a good time, but still has the chance to regroup and get in the top 10 before this is done.
Yeah, I mean, to drop a 2:39 when these guys are under 2:10s, you had to have 3 fall-offs at least, I'm assuming. And, man, yeah, to be able to still have a chance to get back inside the top 10, we saw him fall down at a 6, too. So, he's been having a rough last couple minutes of this moto. But I think he's very happy to see this group of riders right in front of him and see that he's got the ability, as he just pushes the issue too early, accelerates out of that corner, gets into the rear wheel of the other rider, and goes down there. Maybe no chance for a top 10, as he is just completely discombobulated right now.
This is frustrating to watch. I mean, we know Seth and his talent that he possesses should be in the mix with these guys, and perhaps even in the mix for moto wins, but it just hasn't happened yet. He's going to get a free spot, though. Marchini just crashed heavily at the bottom of this hill, and Shirley should go by right about now. Nope, not going to get there. Interesting. Okay, so too much of a gap established from that crash. And yeah, gaps established all throughout the field. If anything, fight for third or fourth, I should say, might still be up for grabs. Here's Jackson. Here's Vial landing off the step up. And then Pace and Johnson still pretty close together. Potential is there. And Vial just ran the fastest lap of the race last time by at a 2:06.507 on the 15th lap of the race. The only guy this late in the moto to still have his fastest laps rolling in. So that's pretty impressive by him. He wants to go get Frank Jackson for fourth.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting closer. We're seeing the fastest qualifier trying to do fastest qualifier things. He's made it up so far. He's up healthily inside the top 10, working to get Frank Jackson. He's looking at fourth place of Frank Jackson and thinking, man, if I get him, who knows if I keep throwing down these heaters where I could get. But yeah, all the points matter when you're in a title chase. We've seen him qualifying great, and look at him all over the rear wheel of Jackson. Do we get some dualies? Little baby dualies. Vial tossed it, though. He was looking for the style points and just rails. I was not even expecting that.
I mean, Jackson made a small bobble, but Vial was ripping through that rut, and the fight continues. We'll get back to this in a minute. Give credit where credit is due. This man is finally broken through. Alexis Leclerc, your 450 Moto 1 winner here at Thunder Valley.
Yeah, there's been 2 passes. The potential pass by Jackson.
Ooh, it looks like Vial went down.
Earlier, Vial, that's what happens when you're just absolutely sending. Look at it. He just jumped so far up that hill, almost blew over that corner because he's just trying to ride as fast as possible. Made a mistake, and he's like, hey, maybe there's cuts. Maybe someone goes down. But yeah, lost that position to Jackson and Payson Johnson there. Colby Eaglin coming across the line with a good finish in third. Hard-fought race. Coming back from way back, Jackson in fourth, Johnson coming across fifth, Pablo Vial way back. He must have gone down.
Yeah, I saw a rider go down, and it looked like it was one of the Phil's riders. It was Braden Carter down at the finish line. Carter ends up 28th the lap down. Pablo Vial, 6th place across the line. Not 20-something. Braden Castellaneta looks like he's going to pick up P7 ahead of Hubbard, who had a really good recovery ride to get all the way to 8th. Whelan 9th, and Shirley did get into the top 10, and he looks like he's not done yet. Wow, he swapped through that section. That was pretty impressive not to go down, and he's still on his horse trying to get to Bryce Whelan. Whelan crossing over some ruts, a little bit wayward here. Shirley smells blood in the water here with 2 turns to go. It's not going to be enough unless Whelan absolutely gets this corner completely wrong at the flag. Coming to the checkered flag, it's going to be Whelan 9th and Shirley in 10th. And we're going to jump into the intermission screen here. Holly, welcome to the show. My daughter here on the screen. What do you want to say to the people?
There's a baby and mommy tell me about why there's a race there and track.
Yeah, there's a racetrack right there, but what happened?
Why there's a track there?
There's a track right there. What did you say, though?
Why there's a track there?
Before that, sweetie, what was the first thing you said? What did you say when you came in here?
Why there's a have tractor motorcycles.
Holly, what's mommy got?
A baby.
Yeah, mommy's got a baby. We got Brower baby number 2 coming up.
And his name is Matthew.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks for giving the news out. If you hadn't seen my Instagram, we do have another one joining the family soon. Alexis Leclerc confirmed as the winner, so we'll go ahead and choose him as our outcome. Congratulations to those who selected. As my daughter Holly's going to leave the stream there. Thanks, Holly, for coming by.
You gotta go under. You know, you were just went under.
And just going to hang out. Good night, Holly.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks everybody for the congratulations in the chat room. Yeah, we're excited, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm trying to set up a freaking source here, and it will not work for me, but let's see if I can get it to work now. Here. Boom. No, not that. That doesn't work. Using window capture. I don't understand how this works.
Believe in you, though. I believe you have all the capabilities to be able to make this work. 116 days to go.
Nope, that's not it. Cancel. Maybe it's this?
I love it. If we got questions in the chat, go ahead and throw them
hit
out
us
here while we wait in the intermission, small intermission between a 450 Moto 2,
There
Moto
we
1,
go. That's what I was trying to look
and
for.
250 Moto 2. And Kellen is dragging bars all over the screen.
We got a diaper fund set up. So if anybody wants to donate to the diaper fund, always helps us out because we're going to need a lot of them for baby number 2.
Yeah, we maybe we'll throw like a smaller, like a beer fund in there.
We'll have a
$20
beer fund on the left and a diaper fund on the right.
It'll be a lot.
That side is
it'll
the
have a
diaper
limit.
fund, and then we'll put the beer fund up here, maybe.
Yeah, just so you know, put it just right
That'll be
between
the next screen, though.
next time. No, thank you guys all. Hopefully, if you guys want to support Kellen, please go out there and donate.
Yeah, let me see if I
and his
can.
beautiful wife,
If I
beautiful
can get
family,
the link
and
here.
baby number 2 coming shortly. It's gonna be super awesome. Cannot wait. So
I know
glad
it's
to
somewhere,
share the
but
news with everyone finally.
yeah, finally we can share it. So I don't know who was here that I'm trying to remember what round it was, but around during Supercross, my daughter came in
It was
on
Nashville.
the stream. Nashville.
Because I missed it. Or not Nashville, but the round afterwards when I was flying back from Nashville.
Yep.
And I was sitting in the airport, headphones in, drinking a beer at TGI Fridays, and I was like at my layover in Dallas, and I'm sitting there, and she's like, "There's a baby in mommy tummy," and then she da 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 da, and then sang a song, and I texted you, and I was like, WTF, and then I texted your wife because I knew you were streaming. I was like, "What did Holly just say on stream?" Because I know she's always in here when she says it when she talks. And then she's like, "Oh no, she's talking about my cousin," and played it off all sly. And I was like, "Oh, I got excited."
Yeah.
So super awesome. Yeah, almost blew it, but that pretty much went under everyone's nose, which was awesome. Everyone but me, I was all over it.
Yeah, we were trying to hide it still at that point. We're not trying to hide it anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna hit you guys with the tip page now. I'm not sure if it'll go through, but that is gonna be the tip page in case you want to donate to us to help us out with the diaper fund. You don't have to. It's just part of the fun.
Throw that in the description too.
If you really want. Yeah, I'm trying to put it there right now.
It's wicked. Yeah, so he'll donate 2 kids if you want more. Just giveaways here for everyone's
description, but yeah, so we're getting ready to go for 250 Moto number 2. Let's talk about that coming up.
Let's get some whole. You want to do whole shots again?
Yeah, let's do whole shots again.
Braden Tharp needs to be up there. Braden asked for a vote too, and he was up there, so he gets one. What are we thinking? Maybe a Seth Carr. Who else? Who we have the first time? Parlo. Get out of here, dude.
And you had Partolo. It didn't work out for either of those gentlemen.
But Tharp was right there.
Tharp was right there. Like, I almost want to pick him again.
I want a Tharp Carr and...
So, it was Seth Carr who got the whole shot.
Seth Carr.
We can do Braden Tharp. Well.
Who else? Holtzy, Cade Matherly.
I don't know. Give it.
Who got a good start last? I want someone who's gonna be there.
We'll do Evan Holt. Pick one more. Make it quick.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just do other than those three, and give you 30 seconds to donate.
Yeah, that's fine. Other
for 250 Moto number 2.
Because if there's no other with picking 4, it needs to be like a yes or no.
Yep. So your predictions going up right now for 250 Moto number 2.
30 seconds, get in there.
Get in there, get out of there, make it happen, make it quick, make it snappy, because we got to get the gate dropped here in 250 Moto 2 coming up quick. Anybody going to bet? Anybody going to donate as well? We got 56% thinking it's going to be someone other than who we picked. Someone dropped a little bit on Seth Carr, and done. So we haven't even made it to the start just yet of the race, but looks like, man, we actually had quite a few channel points laid in. Someone put 10,000 channel points down on Tharp.
It's got to be
2-to-1 odds.
It's got to be himself.
No, let's see. It was, you're right.
Yep.
Thick
He
Boy
had a big
BT
bet on him
put
the first time.
10,500 channel points on himself.
Crazy thing was he had like 1,000 on himself the first time, and he missed it, right? He didn't and he missed it by barely, and his odds were like crazy. And I was like, dude, you would have had so many points. You would have had them all.
Casanova put 200 down on Seth Carr to hole shot, who hole shot the first moto, by the way, brought to you by the Design Lab Co. And if he gets it as well, man, that's 80 times what he put into it right there. So that is,
I mean, why not?
That's going to be pretty crazy if it comes out that way. All right, let's take a look at Seth Carr off the start as we're ready to go. Revs are up. Gate is down in 250 Moto 2. We are off and running. Seth Carr trying to get that rear tire down. He's going to be blocked. Matherly. While Seth Carr pushes everybody out, he's still going to get the whole shot. Holy smokes. I don't know if you give it to him. He cut the first turn to do it.
I think I'm doing the audible. I think we might have to have a Luke Sullivan there.
Well, coming through in second was Chelsea. Who do you give it to?
I think Sullivan might have crossed the line second, and he visibly got hit by Carr, who came up the inside. That's a close one. I think our stats guy in chat might need to go out there. I don't think we can give it to Carr, though.
Oh, man, I don't know. Cade Matherly, he shut the door hard on Carr going to the first corner. Carr definitely cut the first turn.
They both cut the corner.
They both really went off the track and cut the corner, but it is Carr who comes out with the lead. Do we just give the points to Carr? I mean, he technically crossed the line first, however he got there. You just want it to be someone else.
No, because I didn't put that much money on it. That many points.
All right, we'll put iMoto 251 on it. He is analyzing. When iMoto gives us the decree, we'll let you know.
He gets the final call, and then if anyone's mad about it, you can.
Casanova's mad, man. He wants it to be Seth Carr.
Oh, he was the only one that picked Carr again. Which is crazy, by the way. I don't know how Braden Tharp. I guess most of those points probably came from him. 80 times 200. What? That's only like.
80 I guess times that's 200 is a lot. It's not 60,000, but it's a lot.
16,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot if Casanova just won this right now.
I'm giving the big stat guy the challenge. This is his first real challenge of coming out, because you got to be like, he's AMA penalty guy, right? He's also taking these for his own stats. So
yeah, we'll see. So
Lane has been keeping them.
Let's see what iMoto says after that. Logan Leitzel is in second at the end of the first lap. Hayden Stevenson third. Maverick Snyder, another good start, finds himself in fourth, and Cody Branson inside of the top 5. So not really a front runner group that we expected once again. Cade Matherly, by the way, is. I don't even know. Where is Cade Matherly?
Whatever. I think that's what he
16th.
gets for turning into someone when you're already on a line that runs into the inside and then turning in more. That was an absolutely crazy thing. Aren't they teammates too?
No, Matherly is not teammates with Seth Carr.
They
Seth
just
Carr
look
and Panini
the same.
And Matherly on Twizy is in 15th. So honestly, you know, another thing that we got to bring up about this is Carr get protested because he caused the first turn crash by cutting the track.
I was so locked in on the whole shot, I didn't even notice that there was anyone down behind them. I just saw him bump into Sullivan because I was locked in. But I mean, that's where I honestly think that I'm fine with like, hey, there's a crash, go around it. But by like, you were off track, and I know Matherly was like inside of him, but you gotta figure out a way to try.
All right. Official decree in the chat. iMoto says he's going to give it to Carr because Cade pushed him inside of the bales. So we're going to give it to Seth Carr, the whole shot winner. That's going to be also 16,000 points going to Casanova for picking Seth Carr. 1% of people picked Seth Carr for the whole shot, and he was determined to make it happen.
That's pretty sick there. Yeah, huge reward for him. 16,127 he got. Attaboy.
Did anybody
Casanova.
clip that start, by the way? If we have the clip for it on the Twitch chat here, link it up and we'll load it up so that we can see what happened and maybe talk about it a little. We got people in the chat that are not happy with that, though. They wanted to see was deleting messages. Stop it.
He said my bad. No.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
No, he's fine.
All right, so we'll review the start in a minute here. It is still Carr, Leitzel, Stevenson, Snyder, and Branson. I feel like this is such a key talking point because it's such to do with the championship implications as well. And yeah, this was crazy. Maverick wants to know what the 4 next to his name means. That means that you picked option number 4 in the poll that we just had, which is who whole shots the Moto.
Yeah, so then when you're chatting about it,
yeah, so
you can see
yep,
who's got their money where.
Yep, exactly. All right, so iMoto linked this in the chat. We're going to go ahead and go to the tape right now really quickly.
This is what happens
off the start.
Down in 250. Can we get a slow-mo?
Yeah, we're going to do slow-mo. We're going to full screen this as well. So let's kind of just review this, and then we'll go back to the race. So 0.25% speed. Off the start, coming up the uphill, timer in the upper right-hand corner.
Cade has a straight line to the corner, too.
He's going straight, but he starts leaning right. He is leaning turning. Right.
Yeah.
And then he's going to lean a little bit. Look at, leans really far right, pushes Carr inside the tough block there. They both go inside the tough block. And then when they rejoin at the top of the hill, that's when Carr gives him the little nudge, puts Matherly in the mid-pack and down. Yeah, Sullivan got pushed out a little bit as well. So make of it what you will, but Matherly did put Carr to the far inside. Carr could have backed out of it. He still went for it.
Clean.
Make of it what you think, but Awood calls it clean.
That was clean. I like that. That was a good analysis right there too. Yeah, it just kind of sucks. I mean, honestly, that move by Matherly was like shady. Like, what are you doing, dude? I don't know. He's like, oh my god, this is a guy. He's red plate. I gotta mess him up.
Matherly's the one on the track who turned inside a tough block.
He also had the only gate that has a straight line that stays on the track. Everyone else has to move in. So he was riding straight and then slowly turned in. Then he had to really lean in because they were gonna go into the bales, and he was shooting straight at it. And then that just made it worse. And it's like, I don't know, man. That's a kind of a greasy move. Cade going down too. Kind of got the instant karma.
Maybe, yeah, a little bit.
Taste of his own medicine right away. So, yeah, cool thing. Carr goes 2 for 2 for whole shots here and has a huge lead out front. I want to shout out Logan Leitzel, got a way better start. Hayden Stevenson, who ended up front early, also riding right around in third behind him. And then Maverick Snyder, another great start. And we were like, hey, they're not really heavy hitters, but remember, Maverick Snyder finished up inside the top, 5 or 6 as well, inside the last moto. So honestly, there's no reason that him and Stevenson shouldn't finish here with the rest of the guys being so far back in the field.
Yeah, this is a really, really good day at the races here for Maverick Snyder. And again, another guy we really probably haven't talked enough about. Deserves a little bit more credit for the way that he has performed here today, but a solid 4th place ride right now. We'll see if he's able to hold it up here and what that puts him overall. In the first moto, it was Leitzel, Matherly, Carr, Sullivan, Tharp, and Snyder with 6. So 6-4 scores right now. Leitzel on a 1-2 still has a position to win the overall as it stands. Seth Carr on a 3-1, not going to win it if Leitzel remains in second. So if you're Carr at this point, I think it's really just go out and try to win this thing at all costs. You got to try to maintain your championship lead and not lose too many points at this point in time. You'd only be losing, I think, 2 points to Logan Leitzel.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for Carr is just I mean, red plate, all you can do is go out there and get the best finish that you can do. And I mean, getting a good start, putting himself in a good situation. And what we saw in the first moto was him having the best speed, maybe not the fastest on the track, but having such great speed, but going down every 2 or 3 laps. And it's just like, you can't be doing that, making these mistakes. We see him hopping around right there, kind of slam that rut on the exit. But it's all about just staying on 2 wheels. I think Seth Carr has the speed. If he slows it down 1%, he's still going to be fast enough to hold on to the lead. And it's all about just figuring it out. And I'm hoping he did a little bit of riding during the 450 moto and tried to gel with the track a little bit more and to hold on to this position. Because I would like to see him kind of come back after having such a bad moto to his standards, to come back and just have one smooth one here.
Casanova in chat says, if we use all 16K on hydrate, would we drink? I don't know, man. I think I'm good tonight. I'm trying to keep it low key. I got to wake up hella early tomorrow to check in for a flight and then wake up super early on Friday to go to that flight. So I'm keeping it a little bit low key. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm good. We got to like pre-plan it. I mean, there's some liquor downstairs we can get. There's no cold beers. Like that's a whole... We gotta plan ahead. 16K. Save your 16K for a night that we say we're doing a drinking stream, and I'll be staying the night. And yeah, we'll be cutting off my mic at some point.
Well, honestly, what we need to do in general is come up with some way that we can have you guys spend the channel points effectively, and do it in some fun ways. Whether it's shout outs or whether it's something I don't know. We'll come up with a plan. Maybe Awood and I will brainstorm after the stream. But if we're gonna do this betting thing, I really want it for you guys to be able to have a cool way to use those channel points and redeem them effectively. So yeah, come up with ideas in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking it would be a cool way to use your channel points, and we'll consider it. All right, let's look through the field.
This name generator, by the way, would be fun if we had it like super expensive and they could choose a new name for us to call a certain rider. As long as it's appropriate, just like some dumb name. Like we were like, oh, if Butters wasn't the nickname, you got to call Cade Matherly Butters for the rest of the moto.
Or Cade Matherly becomes Craven Moorhead instead, or
yeah,
whatever.
Craven Moorhead and Bend Over up the inside.
Over. Oh, all right, there we go. We got
Bend Over's coming up the inside.
Bend Over and Craven Moorhead. Oh, Cody Branson getting slideways. Oh, he just parks Cade Matherly. Just puts him off the track. Says, I don't care if I'm getting all out of shape, man. You ain't going by me. Austin Partolo right there now closing up on this fight. We got 3 riders together. And yeah, Saru says, what if we had someone renamed to Anita Dick?
Soundboards would be good though too. Once we get that stream deck going.
Yeah, I'll get a stream deck. Maybe I'll just buy one tonight or something like that, and we'll start using it next week. Maybe if there's enough
diaper fund money by the end of the stream, we could just allocate it, and you're gonna see it empty. But we'll have a stream deck. Get some drops. Who knows?
Some Jack Daniels to show respect for the racing team. Yeah, well, maybe. I don't think the Jack Daniels racing team is still out there.
Yeah, they don't really show up anymore. I haven't seen Jack Haley here tonight. And D Mills is on some other weird team. I don't even think he showed up. Or if he did, he's doing so bad that I haven't even seen his name once tonight. Those are my boys, though. JDR will come back one day.
We're watching a fight here for 5th between Cade Matherly and Austin Partolo, but we want to give a shout out real quick. Logan Leitzel, 2:05.539 in 2nd place right now. Absolutely cooking. Only went a second faster than Seth Carr, but Leitzel on his horse again. And honestly, I think we maybe have the 2 fastest riders here tonight in P1 and 2 right now on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Logan Leitzel put in so many laps in that first moto, just slowly bettering his lap times to keep being the fastest guy on the track. And Seth Carr was able to kind of be up there and put down some lap times, but they weren't ever the fastest, and he wasn't consistent. That's why he wasn't able to come through. But I do really think these are the 2 fastest guys in the class. Maybe on a certain day you can get some guy like we saw Partolo kind of show up. We've seen Cade Matherly have his days. I think he does a little bit better at some of the East Coast tracks. At least he has in the past. But yeah, this is definitely the fastest 1-2 group I think that we can have here in this 250 class. So very cool for that.
So we're watching Cade Matherly still doing his work. Let's poke back out to the lead and see how Seth Carr's handling stuff at the moment. Still in the lead, 6.3 seconds over Logan Leitzel, 2:06.5 last time by, and he might actually be cooking up a pretty good one right now as well. So we'll see if he runs the new fastest lap of the race. He's got to be 2:05.5. He's slowly pulled away from Leitzel on this lap, and coming across the line, he goes 2:05.5, and it was fastest lap of the race by a few tenths of a second. Got sideways right after that, though. And yeah, Leitzel goes 207 flat. So 1.5 seconds gain that last time by. And Seth Carr said, I raise you 1/10 of a second, good sir.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, I like that it's just kind of like this race, they've both found their consistency, and it's just tit for tat with their lap times. And it's really just, they're showing us that they're the class of this 250 field at this round. This is really fun. It feels like the first 250 moto, we were kind of figuring out everyone was still figuring out what was going on, the track, how hard they could push. And then this race, two of them getting good starts and just like, okay, let's go lap time battle and let's see what you got for 35 minutes. Can I beat you? Seth Carr on top right now, but I mean, track's getting rougher. It's going to get a little bit faster, I think. A road is going to get just a little bit easier for these guys to rail some corners and get some fast times in, but those downhills do get a little bit more rutted.
Well, as we approach the halfway point of this moto, these guys are 25 seconds up on the rest of the pack. How about we do this between these two? Because it seems like they're the fastest riders on the track. It seems like it might be a battle between them two. Let's just do who beats who, Seth Carr or Logan Leitzel. And at that point, it's one or the other. And even if they don't win, it's who finishes in front of the other. So we'll do that one. We're watching Seth Carr right here, and we're going to pitch it to you guys for a new prediction, and you can use your channel points.
Give them some more time, maybe.
Yeah, we'll give you guys maybe like 3-4 minutes to do this one. But Seth Carr versus Logan Leitzel in this poll that we're going to drop on you guys. 5 minutes? Give them 5 minutes to submit.
Maybe 3.
I can only do 5 or 2.
2.
2 minutes. All right.
Five's almost 20 minutes in the moto.
All right, who beats who? Seth Carr versus Logan Leitzel.
Get your picks
in. Drop that moolah.
50-50 chance. You can only pick one. Let's see where you guys lie. Seth Carr probably going to be the favorite because of where he's at right now. How many seconds?
He is 7.5 seconds up.
7.5 seconds up. So your rewards, though, if you pick the favorite, they're not going to be that big. So all these guys throwing money down. Logan Leitzel, something happens. Remember, Seth Carr was also extremely fast in the first moto, but went down about 6 to 9 times during that moto. And was just not able to keep it up the whole time.
Oh, man. All right, so let's see if Seth Carr is able to hold on. He's got a nice little 9-second lead now, 206.984 last time by. Only 2 riders are sub 210 right now, and they're both 1-2 on the racetrack. 206.9 for Seth Carr, 207.9 for Logan Leitzel. 9-second gap between them. And it's really who you think is going to beat the other. 59% of you think it's going to be Seth Carr right now. This is, I think, our highest bet of the night that we've had thus far between the two. Over 30,000 channel points have gone into this poll so far. So this is going to be kind of fun to see who comes out on top. 1.4 to 1 odds for Seth Carr, 3 to 1 odds for Logan Leitzel as it stands. So we'll see how it all shakes down.
Some of these guys watch a lot of freaking Start Your Systems TV, whether it's the fun streams or all the race streams, because people are just dropping 10K like it's nothing. I had 11K to start the night. I think I'm down below 10 now after a couple lost bets, but it's just wild that you guys are throwing all that on a 50-50 right here. But especially the underdog is now close to being favored, even though he's still losing by a good margin, which is crazy. But man, I honestly, if I had to put I missed it.
Locked in.
Fudge!
And it's 53% of you think Seth Carr, 47% think it's Logan Leitzel. It's literally almost 2 to 1 for both. So whoever ends up winning, you get 2 to 1 of your points back. That's kind of cool how that worked out. We had over 60,000 channel points just dropped right there.
That's awesome, and it's cool because someone that dropped 10K, you're gonna get just over 20K back. And I was gonna do a sprinkle on Logan just for fun because I love when people do really, really well and just kind of keep winning races, and do well. But I also like a good comeback from behind. So there's just no good way to say it. I was rooting for Logan Leitzel to put the charge on and get up in there and make the move.
All right.
Where's Maverick Snyder at?
Look, he's
Holding
third.
it down,
He's third,
dude.
man.
I told
we want
you,
to
you're
give him
like,
some love because
dude, there's no heavy hitters up here. They might be 40 seconds back, but Snyder and Stevenson are my Frank Jackson of the night in the 250 class. Luke Sullivan went down early. He's in 6th. Madeline dropped back to 5th. Pardlow recovering. He's in 7th. Look at these names come across the screen, but man, this 250 class is all over the place. But the two guys who have been consistent and aren't normally up here are Maverick Snyder, and they are Maverick Snyder and Stevenson, and they are crushing it tonight. Shout out to these boys.
Dude, Snyder is seriously having an all-time good ride right now. Great stuff out of a triple-digit guy that we don't give too much love to. It's awesome to see a fresh face at the front of the field, and Snyder has pretty much done it back-to-back weeks at this point. He's been solid at Hangtown, solid at Thunder Valley now, and 6'3", gosh, I don't know if it's going to be enough to get on the podium, depending on where Matherly gets to and how it shakes down. Yeah, I don't think he'll get on the podium today, but a terrific ride nonetheless, and hopefully he's able to hold on to this position. It does seem like it has dramatically fallen the way of Seth Carr in the race lead, 2:05.2 last time by, and Leitzel crashed either twice or once pretty hard because he's 20 seconds off the lead now. And yeah, that's not a good look right now for Logan Leitzel, but you never know. It could turn around towards the end of this moto. Car could have some mistakes. But man, he just laid in another 2:05 at a 2:05.1. He just did back-to-back fastest laps of the race.
That honestly, it's insane that I think these are fastest laps of both the races. He clearly, if he didn't put some work in the 450 moto and get some more practice in on this track, I'm going to be really surprised. Either that or he just freaking locked in, because Seth Carr is absolutely on rails. He's been consistent. I don't think we've seen him go down yet. Not to say, I mean, there's still over 10 minutes plus 2 laps, probably 15 minutes left in this moto before it's over. But man, Seth Carr is just absolutely crushing right now. And as I say, that clips a bail, but I do think there is still room for him to make some mistakes. This track's getting rougher. You got more lappers. He's going to be forced into a rut that he's doesn't want to be in, just like that. Ooh. Almost, or runs in, clips that lapper as he goes down. You can't really avoid some of those things, so it's going to be really difficult. Look at this, having to go 3 ruts deeper into that corner because of a mistake by a lapper. But man, he's keeping it smooth, and he is just absolutely crushing right now.
Yeah, well, the problem is that even though he's had these lappers to deal with, it looks like Leitzel went down again. So there is our leader, Seth Carr, gone at the front of the field. Let's just watch all these guys go by. So many lapped riders, and we'll probably see Logan Leitzel. Yeah, look at, he's going up the uphill way over there. That's that Yamaha coming down the double right now is Logan Leitzel. He's going to go through the sweeper on that side of the track and then jump back up into that corner, and then we'll have him coming up this jump in just a minute. But Leitzel is way back here now. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion Seth Carr is going to win this race.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer that he was so close when we started that pole. He was only 7 seconds back, and then he just slowly dropped down, made it to 10, and then a couple fall-offs now, and he is way, way back. The only good news is that they had a buffer of 40 seconds back to the third-place rider. So Logan Leitzel going to come in probably with a second-place finish here as this race goes on. But I mean, hey, the reason we race 30 minutes plus 2 laps is because anything can happen. It's all about endurance, consistency, and how you manage the ever-changing racetrack.
Yep. Big shout out to Cade Matherly. He's made it all the way up into a podium spot from that first turn crash. And I don't know, man. So like we talked about it off the start. He pushes Carr to the inside. Carr goes off the track. Matherly goes off the track. Then they both rejoin. Carr puts Matherly down. Do you think Matherly himself is going to be mad after the race, or is he going to kind of realize, I maybe shouldn't have done that?
If I'm Carr, I'm upset about the move in general. And if I'm Cade, I mean, I don't know. I mean, does Cade, you only get penalized. The thing that I maybe don't like, that I wish Race Factory did, is I wish they penalized for things that weren't protested by the racers, because
like the AMA does,
like the AMA, you got to police the racing. Even if someone doesn't do it, it's like, okay, they got pissed off, but then after the race, and I think you have to wait like 24 hours now to submit a protest. So the next day, most people are cooled off. Like, I've had some stuff where I wanted to do, like, I was ready to fight D Davis. And it's like a day later, I'm like, whatever, dude. But like, it doesn't matter. Well, after that time goes by, it's like I almost just don't want to do it. But I'm like, I still firmly believe like there's things that people should still get penalized for. I just don't want to go out of my way. But you're running a racing series where you're taking money from competitors. You're making money off of this series. Like, these riders pay entry fees to race this. I think it's at least worth going through, whether they watch this stream or whatever you can see, and just kind of go through and just look at problematic riders and kind of read the chat while the races are going and see what people are mad about. Because I do think that's something that should be punished, whether it's a penalty or a couple position dock. I mean, yeah, he went down off the start, but what if he didn't go down? How much better would he have been, him and Carr, by going up that inside? You know, Carr didn't really have a choice, but I don't know. I guess that's just something, a pipe dream that probably won't ever happen with Race Factory, just like many things we wish we had. But I don't know. Long-winded. Randomly went on a rant because I remembered how mad that move kind of made me by Matherly. But I mean, he's doing a great ride to come back from it. And hey, if you get penalized, somehow you put in a hard ride to make the most of it. And then it won't hurt you as much, I guess, from going down off the start.
Yeah, I mean, he's done well to manage from that crash. I mean, you could say, like you said, it was self-inflicted. He pushed him off the track and ended up going down because of it. So gets all the way back to third, 49 seconds off the lead, but he'll probably kick himself because he had a great start. And honestly speaking, he probably had a shot at the whole shot just straight up if he stays on the track, because Carr would have had to shut down to not hit that tough block, or maybe even hit the tough block and gone down. So
yeah, I think if he went straight, I think Matherly had that whole shot. He was inside of Sullivan, and he was right there inside of Sullivan, and Carr would have either fully cut the corner, and we probably would have taken it away from him, or Carr would have had to slow down and re-enter, and probably would have came out fifth. Either way, I mean, even if what happens to you, penalizes yourself, you can still get penalized. It doesn't take away like what you did. So
yep, yeah.
But I mean, great ride by him. If going down in the first corner to being third, I would take that all day, any day. And I think most of the riders out here would. He's showed that he's also kind of gotten a little bit more consistent after a rough first moto where he wasn't the most consistent. So I mean, good on him, and a good ride by all three of these guys in their top three.
Yeah, I want to show how ridiculous the gaps are at the front of the field, and I have a good way of doing it. So we're going to watch Seth Carr here for the next few corners, and then we'll see how ridiculously spread out the field is, because it's almost a minute from first to third, and Seth Carr has just opened up this gap on Logan Leitzel more so as the laps click by. Coming on to lap number 13 now is Seth Carr going over the finish line jump, lays in a 2:07.2. So we go through the wave section here, down behind the start line, turns up the hill, and then we're just going to steady cam here at the top of the hill and watch. So there goes Seth Carr. Lap traffic going by. That looks like one of the Nexus riders going by right there. So let's see who that would be. That would maybe be Ben Nerona on the 352. More lappers. There's Tharp on the 23 way back. Holtzy, he's a lap down, also going by right there. And then just more and more lappers between them. These gaps are massive. So next up should be right here, Logan Leitzel. That is the place, P2 right there on the 3 machine going by right there into the first turn. So there's Leitzel. Then we got more lap traffic. There's Cody Branson, another one of the Panini riders going by. This is the 43 of Lucas Brune, I think, going by as well, down in 30th place. So rough ride for him, and then we wait, and 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 we wait. One more lapper, and there is Cade Matherly on the 25 going by in third. And then a little bit of a gap back to another lapper, and more waiting, and here comes fourth place right there. I believe that is Maverick Snyder. So Maverick Snyder in fourth, having a great ride. 68 seconds behind the leader.
Vicious Goose in chat said, in YouTube chat, said, Kellen, can you replace Lewis on your PulpMX podcast with this guy, whoever he is? The vibes are good. And I will say no, because the vibes are good, and I love Kellen, and we're great friends, but what makes the LVK podcast so good is how ridiculous of a human being that Lewis Phillips is, and the crazy hot takes he has on life. And that is what makes that podcast so good. We've got 4 hours a week that we get to, commentate MX Simulator racing for you guys, and this is where we get to shine. But definitely a I don't know if we need to take Lewis off of that podcast because what you guys do is awesome and everything he says is ridiculous.
So we've stuck with it at this camera all the way through. This right here is the last rider on the lead lap, I believe, right there of Heilman. And here comes our race leader, Seth Carr. We stuck with that camera for a lap. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. We sat right there and watched only 13 people on the lead lap go by.
I mean, they're on rails. This is a complete different show that we saw in the first moto. The first moto was just mistakes over and over and over and multiple times, and it's completely different. It doesn't feel like we just watched a moto where these guys where Seth Carr crashed I said don't crash every 2 or 3. Fuck.
Oh, Seth Carr down from the race lead.
Sorry, Seth. You're down from the race lead. Good news is you still have it by a long freaking time, so you're fine. I think he was maybe doing that just to appease me. He's like, oh, I was talking how I never fell. Seth Carr, there was a Seth Carr don't crash every 2 laps challenge, and he failed it. Like every time. So
poor Seth.
Now he did 28 minutes and 20 seconds before he crashed. So I think he's doing just fine.
Drip Gang TV on YouTube asked how much is the entry cost to get into these per race. It's like what, $2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the season pass is 25 or 20.
I think in individual races, at least in Supercross, because I signed up for 2 or 3 of them and didn't qualify for any of them, was $2 for an individual race. I think it was 25, maybe 25 or $30 for like 17 rounds. So you get a discount if you don't do that, but I mean, say there's 70 guys trying to qualify in each class. You got 140 guys paying $30 for a series, and there's got to be more than that.
Yeah, so these guys are saying it's $4 in chat for the Nationals.
Maybe
so
$4 for Nationals. Yeah,
check.
I mean, you get more time on the track. You're almost guaranteed. You got a better guarantee to be in meaningful races. But, I mean, still, that's there's a lot of money going on there. But, yeah, it sucks when I paid $2 and didn't even get close. So.
All right. There's not battles going on. I can literally see live timing. We got nothing going on. As Seth Carr checks in. Still not past 30 minutes. We have 3 laps to go, people. Yeah, let's do lit kit. Seth Carr just pirouettes onto the ground so we can get up close and personal and see his kit. Liat head to toe. And purple with the black. A little bit of neon green in there. He's only going to have a 10-second lead after this as well. So we'll get back to that story in a second.
Got hit twice and took out the other guys. I'm not a fan.
Not bad.
I like Logan Leitzel, clean.
Logan Leitzel,
Red Bull
Fox.
helmet, Red Bull bike.
Yep, Red Bull Yamaha looks pretty solid for Yogi. Cade Matherly, I don't have his gear. Kind of bummed on it.
Tyson said he sent it to you maybe a day or 2 ago, but
I
it's hard.
downloaded everything that came through in DMs and on the forums, but I don't know, man. Sometimes it sucks because what happens is I get sent stuff and some of it is just straight up, it's a SAF, or some of it's like in a folder, so I don't know if I need to take it out of the folder. It's in a SAF as well. And then some people send me stuff that's like an unzip that I have to unzip again. So it's kind of all over the place, but Matherly, he's probably got some sick stuff on. Maverick Snyder, Fox from the feet up to the neck, and then he's got a bell helmet with, what kind of goggles are those? Oakley's?
Oakley. I like that high vis kind of stuff on the Yamaha. Looks pretty good. Maybe not going to be my choice for lit kit, but a strong showing in his ride and in his gear today. Really like the set. I want to go back. I need to see myself a Stevenson because I think he might be lit. Ooh, look at that. Is that the old replica barbed wire Fox gear retro?
Stuff. And it's Fox head to toe. Yeah, bike looks pretty good. The Fantic.
Throwing
Aiden Stevenson, this is your guy right here.
By
Fox
his Red Bull helmet, though.
Fox head to toe, monster.
Sexy, red and yellow, Bumblebee.
I don't know that Fox makes this colorway, do they?
That's even better. Custom?
Yeah.
Custom LE. You guys can't even buy this if you wanted to. Rocking a beautiful Triumph, monster helmet, monster graphics. I just think he looks good on the track. Everything's gelling. Let's keep it going.
All right, let's keep going. Jack Mark, we don't have his stuff. Parlo's the same thing as Seth Carr. Red plates probably look a little bit better. We talked about Gatlin earlier. The purple TM factory racing machine that he's on with the orange get up from head to toe. He's got O'Neill gear, Alpine Star boots, and an Arai helmet, I think, with Oakley goggles.
That plays. Yeah, I'm a brand strict guy like Kiefer. You can't mix and match. So, But I think his bike kind of makes it hard for him to win a lit kit. He's going to have a very special gear set. Getting passed right here, though, by Race Cobble. I do like his setup as well. The helmet, those lines on the helmet kind of match the lines on the gear with the black and orange and yellow kind of fading into each other.
TLD
This is
Alpine
a
Stars,
strong kit.
It is a pretty strong kit by Race Cobble. Gatlin, don't have Colin Holden. We don't know what Philip Kuchik is doing.
Squiddy looks good.
Scalabro, not a bad look.
FXR?
FXR Alpine Star boots, I think, and yard
Little
sale off
dirty
the track.
now,
I don't even
so-
know what helmet that is. Is that Bell? Yeah, Bell with Oakley goggles. It's pretty solid. Who went by? So we got some good looks here. We got the Fly head to toe except Alpine Star boots for John Heilman. Not bad. We also have Ben Nerona with some Fox. I don't even know, like Galaxy
different,
gear or
same
something like
team,
that.
right? As the other one I like. Just
another
looks
custom set.
different.
Look at the Monster logo too. Do you see that it's not the green claw?
Yeah,
it's like the yellow.
I also like his wheels better. They match his forks and that kind of bike. I love it.
We had a lot of Fox kits as he just bodies Ryan Chelsea.
Ryan Chelsea trying to make a pass on the inside. He said, "Nope."
Nope. So this is
right.
Alpine Star's helmet, Thor gear, Alpine Star boots, ugly
Yeah.
goggles. It's not bad.
I mean, Thor makes a helmet. I guess you can go Alpine Star. I feel like you got to not go Alpine Star helmet.
We got One Industries in the chat. This is Alec Horn, One Industries, black head to toe stuff with Alpine Star boots, Bell helmet, and red Oakley goggles by the looks of it. I love this FXR kit. Like this is a good kit by Evan Holt right here.
Sneaky.
Doesn't really all go together, but I like it still.
Wish he had a better helmet, and I think you're fine because just a sexy monster cowie, like you're good. And he's okay. I mean, bonus points. Still not getting it though. Nice whip though. Let's keep working our way back. I think we got someone Squiddy. Phaetosa. Ooh.
Little purple.
Ooh.
So that's Thor
I
gear,
love it.
Alpine Star helmet, Alpine Star boots, and 100% goggles. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know if I'm a fan of Alpine Star helmets.
The boots make this kit right here for Jackson Vick. Those like
This is heat.
aqua blue boots.
I mean, is this the same team of the other TLD kit I like?
JWTC?
The JWTC?
I don't
because they're
think so, no.
whoever they're doing though, matching boots and gloves is a sneaky one. Those blue gloves with the accents. You got the red, white, and blue gear. Low key, that might be Jackson Vick. I think they shouted him his gear out in the first moto for going hard. Too.
Alec Horn, EVP, another One Industries with the black all get up right there. Braden Tharp, same as the Panini team all throughout. Lucas Brune is TSCZ with Fox head to toe. Not a bad look because it kind of all ties together. Another Fantic team though. And then Hunter Ash has got the helmet fin showy with active gear. I think that is. Can't quite see the logo on it, but I think it's Active Co. with Alpine Star boots. Not bad. Cepeda out of this race. Joey Carter, same thing. They're both Dr. Do.
Dr. New.
Joey Arico, this is One Industries white get up right here with a
Sneaky good kid. The pink kind of
that
matches
Bell
pink
helmet?
on the gloves, which is cool, and the pink on his graphics, which is. I want to give that top 3. Actually, I like it.
All right, we got a lot of people out. So you are picking this, Jackson Vick?
Let me go through one more because Jackson Vick might get it. Just go work your way through the top, and I'm gonna.
Anything?
I think I like Jackson Vick the best.
All
still.
right, Jackson Vick, lit kit winner here tonight. We'll give it to him because honestly, I love it too. Solid get up. All right, we killed enough time in this moto. That was a lot of fun. Seth Carr has made this moto his bitch. I'll tell you that much. He is cruising his way to a victory. A 36-second win is what it's going to be. It's not going to be enough for the overall unless Matherly gets Leitzel on this final lap. But here it is, folks. Seth Carr, the most dominant moto win we've seen this season, takes it here in Moto 2 at Thunder Valley. Instant disconnects.
He's out.
And Leitzel's trying to bring this thing home for the victory. 1-2 performance for the day will win the Thunder Valley National for Leitzel so long as he stays on 2 wheels.
And it looked for a second there he was going to go down, but the gap behind him, is it close?
It's not close enough.
Maybe
He
close
can't
enough
fall.
for a fall off. Yeah, so he's got 2 corners to go. Logan Leitzel as he's going to drop down here, hit this little step up. Used to be a big giant triple. Now it's just a little step up to the mechanics area. Coming around the corner. 1-2 finishes on the day. Logan Leitzel is going to take home the 250 overall here at round 3, Thunder Valley.
Well done, Logan Leitzel. That is another big notch in the step of him trying to reclaim this 250 championship outdoors. Cade Matherly crosses in third. An overall good day for him, going 2-3. He should likely round out the podium. It should be Leitzel, Carr, Matherly, the podium positions here today. They went 1-2-3 in the first moto. They went 1-2-3 in the second moto, just a bit of a different order. Hayden Stevenson's going to pick up a very solid 4th place finish in this one. Not a good first moto for him in 9th. I ideally would have liked to have been a little bit higher. We'll see how that ends up. And I think this is going to be 4th overall for Maverick Snyder. 6.5 should be to 9.4. Where did Tharp get to? Well, Sully's down in the last turn. 4.6. Well, who's passing him? Nah, nobody. Sully's going to get 4th overall with a 4.6. And then Maverick Snyder with a 6.5 should be 5th overall. So great day for him. Race Cobble looks like he's going to pick up 7th in this moto. 8th for Jack Mark. 9th for Austin Partolo. And 10th will be Jack Gatland. Philip Kukic going to end up in the 11th spot. Colin Holden. Ben Nerona. John Heilman, Ollie Cruz, Marconis Feitosa, Braden Tharp, Holtze, Horn, Schiabro, and Siebold. The point scorers in this moto.
Kind of a big mix-up for our championship points. Besides, like, maybe our top 3, I really like that we got Maverick Snyder up in there. Got some good, consistent finishes here today, but a couple guys that really showed some speed, like Pardlow, and just guys that were kind of on my brain, I guess, as people that were going to be up front, maybe not being as consistent as we thought they would be. But really good job by Logan Leitzel, just coming through steady between 2 motos. And let's see if anything changed up front. No, there wasn't too many close finishes.
Yeah, so. Not many close finishes, and Leitzel does get the overall win confirmed. However, Seth Carr with the second moto win gets all those channel points to you fine people. So Seth Carr picking up that win in the moto. Nicely done for him. Big winner from that group looks like B-Dog Simmerer laid down 8,248 channel points at an almost 2-to-1 ratio, so getting close to about 16,000 points that he just won for Seth Carr taking the win. And thanks everybody for making that stuff happen. Oh, cool, Sorrow, good to hear. Yeah, I've been trying to get that sorted, so glad it finally worked out. And we got one more moto left to go.
One more. Shout out Baseball Star in chat. Just wanted us to say his name.
Just wants a shout out, you know.
Why not? Give you a shout out. Also, I mean, we spent 30 minutes on Lit Kit, and Padres are beating Angels are beating the Padres again. You're gonna get swept by one of the worst, the third worst team in
honestly,
baseball. How's it feel?
I am in Spain without the S right now. Okay, so chill down.
Sorry.
But Drip Gang TV also in chat wanted to know, is there an A and B class or all one? So RaceFactoryGaming National Championship, there is the Pro class, which we're watching right now, 250 Pro and 450 Pro. There's also Open Amateur Motocross and 250 Amateur Motocross, I believe.
I don't know. I thought there was like an AMS and then like a C class for the really bad people.
Let me look it up to confirm with you for sure. I'm logged in, Andrew Wood. It's okay, buddy. AMS, Thunder Valley.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
RIP Angels.
250 amateur motocross and 450 amateur motocross. So those are the two distinctions. So actually, what I could do real quick is I'll just pop this up on screen. So go to RaceFactoryGaming.com if you want to get involved with the series at all. Novice is only for Supercross, yeah. So if you're on this page right here, there's obviously an EU tab for the European race that will happen tomorrow. But if you go to this drop-down menu, and I'm super zoomed in, by the way, I should go out to what's the normal view. This is what it looks like at 100%. You drop this events menu down, or it's just going to take me to them, I should say. And in the 2024 tab, there's an AM section.
NA, AM, and EU.
Yep.
For different time zones.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's Supercross.
But they have all three available for outdoors.
Yep. So you would go to Thunder Valley here. This would be the next race that you would potentially be able to join. I don't have a race pass for it, but you can go to the store and get that or a series membership as well. You select to get your number. There's a myriad of numbers you can select from and submit and then join up, and you can go to your qualifying page. These are all the servers you can qualify in for this race, which will happen on Sunday. Amateur racing is on Sunday evening. So these guys have already gotten some times in while the pros were doing times earlier today. But then the amateur racing is 4 days from now. And these are just some of the names that you'll see in those amateur races, 250 amateur motocross right here. And then the 450 amateur motocross class as well. So yeah, just kind of shows off what you get to potentially see if you sign up on RaceFactoryGaming.com. And also a shout out, we just had
Lane Burks?
something come through. Was it Lane Burks?
No, he was he's just our stat guy in chat, 6th in qualifying in AMs right now with a 218.1.
Where is my
P6 do better. Your notifications.
No, yeah, my notifications. I guess I just gotta go here and refresh this page. Somebody donated to the diaper fund, and I want to shout you out.
Let's go.
Hey, YZMXer 608 dropped $6.08 to the diaper fund. So we are, what is it now? 22% of the way there, 1.2% of the way to our diaper fund, which honestly, that's not even going to cover it. So
that'll cover like a week and a half.
Oh man.
There's so many diapers. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Honestly, like, I'm very happy that we are having the baby in the off season, because we had, in 2020, we had my first daughter our first child in June. And I think I missed the stream the night she was born, but I streamed the next week when she was 6 days old. So don't want to do that again.
Yeah, don't want to. Yeah, I'd have to do a solo stream while there's a baby trying to sleep downstairs or something, and you guys taking care of it. You popping in and out.
Yeah. My wife is incredible. I don't deserve her. She's way too nice. She's like, yeah, just go stream with the boys. I got the kid, and I'm like, okay.
Pretty excellent.
Yeah.
One of the top tier. Oh,
Yeah.
Let's get some lick here.
Lick kit real quick. Well, actually, no, we got to pick whole shot winners.
Okay, yeah. Whole shot bets.
So whole
We're
shot.
gonna pick.
Winners.
We're gonna throw in a Hubbard again. He was close. He's just always in. He's got 4 out of the 5. You can't leave him out. We've got some.
Who do you want? Leclerc? Who else?
Leclerc. Brayden Carter, because he got a good start again.
Anybody else? Other. 30 seconds to make your prediction. Who gets the whole shot? And go, people, go get your predictions in. I need to close that window down and then go back to here. All right, get those predictions in.
22 seconds left. Get them in there. Get some money.
All right, we got a lot of people picking other. People think it's going to be Hubbard, 51% there. 4,000 channel points dropped by Spieth. Jake Spieth is going hard on Jacob Hubbard. We got over 10,000 channel points already being laid in for this one. Time is up, and we're about to find out. 44% of people picked Hubbard, 2% picked Leclerc, 3% picked Carter, and 51% picked other. So it's only basically 2-to-1 odds for other or 2-to-1 odds for Hubbard. But if either Leclerc or Carter pick a holy or rip a holy here, we got some sick money rolling in for those people. All right, final moto of the night. Let's get going here at Thunder Valley. Can Bryce Whelan maybe rip a good start from the inside line? Let's go racing 450 Moto 2 at Thunder Valley. Ooh, big jump for Killian Ortiz on the 816 Yamaha, trying to get that rear tire planted. It's going to be Leclerc versus Hubbard into turn 1. Out of turn 1, Alexis Leclerc rips the whole shot. Brought to you by Design Lab Co. Head over there and get your graphics and figure it out, but it's Alexis Leclerc who takes this one, and we'll give the winners out right there. Who came away with the biggest prize return? As Leclerc was the winner. Karen 211 dropped in 130 channel points at a 60-to-1 return rate. So Jay Karen,
You know, Justin's barely watching the stream,
Absolutely
but he's
crushing it,
coming
dude.
in. He's betting. He's like, oh, we're gambling.
oh man, I
I
love
only
it.
lost 15 parlays today. Let's go in and get some money back.
Oh man! All right, Leclerc rips the holy here in Moto 2. It is Leclerc from Ortiz, Johnson, B-Lars with a good start. Hubbard's up here, T-Lang around the outside. It's Honda City out front right now. So many red fenders, and they're all chasing the number 1 red fender, that of Alexis Leclerc in the race lead. Sorry, I just needed to open up another window real quick. But here we go. Can Leclerc make it 2 for 2 tonight and sweep Thunder Valley?
We could just go ahead and cut the stream now. I think we all know what's going to happen. Just kidding. But another great start for Leclerc. Man, dude, I bet Braden Carter, I was the only one on there where they got huge returns. Guess what? Shitty finish in your race gets you a shitty gate pick. And you can't get a whole shot from a shitty gate pick, especially on a crazy uphill start. I'm an idiot. Should have went with Leclerc. Shout out Justin, all the people who got him. Shout out Leclerc himself for getting a great start. And look at this lead that we've got already. Dude is just dominating, but guess who's behind him? Payson Johnson and Tyler Lang coming up second and third right behind him. That is not who you want to see. Is it Killiam Ortiz?
Yeah, Killiam Ortiz in fourth
another
right
great
now.
Start, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's been riding very well and in a good fourth position early in this one.
This is like a Maverick Snyder type ride. Like it's just feels like out of nowhere, someone gels with the track. They're getting good starts, and he's crushing it. So shout out to him early on in this moto.
So Killiam Ortiz hanging on the hip of Tyler Lang through the first turn. And did we lose Payson? No, we lost Leclerc. Excuse me. Payson has taken over the race lead. I did not see where Leclerc went down.
Me neither. All the way back to fifth here.
Yeah, and that is going to give Payson Johnson the race lead. Uh-oh, don't want to let this guy get out front. He will take off and run with it as the 51 points leader dropping down the hill in the race lead. Lost quite a few points in the first moto to Alexis Leclerc, ended up in fifth. I think that's 8 points that swung the way of Leclerc. So Johnson's trying to make amends for it in the second moto, and this time not buried in the field.
Yeah, I was only kidding, guys, when I said cut the stream because Leclerc got the whole shot. I knew it wasn't going to last. Payson Johnson up front, though, how long is this going to last? Look at how close the guys are behind him. Leclerc went down, but he's still pretty close, so good for him. And Tyler Lang as well wants to have a comeback. He actually lost some spots to Braden Castellaneta, and Killian Ortiz is up into second right behind him. So great, really great ride by him, putting pressure on Payson Johnson, past champion and one of the fastest racers we've ever seen, maybe the fastest racer we've ever seen in the MX Simulator as far as pure speed goes. And he's catching him slowly but surely. So this is a great ride by him. Payson Johnson is human. We have seen that at round two.
Yep. And man, Killian Ortiz, like you said, is cooking up some good results here tonight. First moto for him, he was 11th, but he was in the mix the whole way through. Now we can see Payson Johnson in the race lead. A trio of riders enter the corner behind them. That's Braden Castellaneta, Tyler Lang, and Alexis Leclerc going at it. T-Lang just moves back into third after getting around Castellaneta. Leclerc is trying to make a pass as well, so that's a good fight. Let's actually peek back there. There is Lang, there is Castellaneta, there is Leclerc, and they are all still pretty close together as Leclerc goes to work on the little group up ahead of him here.
Yeah, this is what we're going to watch here for the next little while. This is the battle I want to see, and you see these four, and then there's a big drop-off right here behind Alexis Leclerc. So we're going to see what Alexis does, trying to gain time on these guys, using a little bit different line. Not sure if he missed it, and I do think that's where he went down, where we saw him get up, probably somewhere in those roller sections or that corner after it. You'll see this track starts out already super rough with these bumps. Killian Ortiz down. Braden Castellaneta into him, and Alexis Leclerc. So that means Tyler Lang was able to get through cleanly. And Leclerc does pick up a spot, actually, but loses a lot of time when you're thinking about chasing up front to try to catch up to Payson Johnson. Tyler Lang now on the screen, 4.7 seconds back of the lead. Yeah, and like you said, Leclerc now 11 seconds actually off the lead back there. So yeah, tough break right there. Also, shout out to JJ136 Racing, who super chatted $4.99 over on YouTube. Thanks so much for the support. Very, very much appreciated that you guys are always trying to help out right there. On the YouTube one, I believe in the description is the Streamlabs link for the donation to the diaper fund, but we'll just leave that be. Don't worry about it too much. Send us money.
Yeah. T-Lang out here still cruising in the 2 spot, trying to keep Payson Johnson within arm's length, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Johnson is starting to lay in 2:08s. Fastest time last time by for Payson in the race lead, putting in some good lap times. Leclerc trying to make amends, and then the rest of the field behind that all just trying to figure it out. Hubbard with a better start. Alonzo Robin in 6th behind Killian Ortiz. Hubbard just got around him. Colby Eagland in 8th. Joseph Pilsner 9th. And Ethan Gerst rounds out our top 10. So remember, Colby Eagland 3rd in the first moto. Now finds himself all the way into 8th. He's trying to work his way forward. See if he can't make some progress right there. And did we just lose another rider up there? No. Sorry. Apologies. Yeah.
You're not to keep begging, but just in case, if anyone has like Twitch Prime too, any of that stuff, all Twitch subscribers, if you got this Prime sub, you got to throw out there. That all helps out. All that money goes to Kellen. SYS helps put on this beautiful show for you guys. And
it
support.
helps him pay Awood's exorbitant fees to get him here every week too.
So many. The fees are outrageous here. Yeah, I mean, he won't be able to. He'll never have highest ceilings like Steve Mathis because I take all his money.
You know what's funny is Darkside stayed at my house before Fox Raceway, and he legitimately said that I compete with Steve on ceiling height.
Just because of your entryway that goes up to a second story,
yeah.
like, and yours is just like where the stairs are.
I know.
It's not. It's like one half of a hallway. People out of control. I mean, he came from some BFE town in West Texas.
East.
I knew I was gonna pick the right one, and I was like, "This is the one that always gets said." And guess what? It's the wrong one.
Sad.
Yeah, he's hella far away.
Here's Colby Eaglin now up in the 6th, 3rd in the first moto, and won the second moto last week at Hangtown. Been sneaky good of late with his results starting to get a little bit better. Moving into the season, getting over the Supercross hangover perhaps. And I feel like Eaglin, maybe the unfortunate part with him is he's had good speed and hasn't had the starts. And this is another case in this moto, not able to start right with the leaders and now has to do all the catching. But again, finding his way into the mix pretty well.
Yeah, I was going to like compare him to Shimoda or something as like a slow starter as far as the series, but he's not. Maybe throughout the year because his Supercross, he struggled. We've seen him do well in Supercross, but he always excels outdoors. He's been in the championship mix for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Great outdoor rider, Colby Eaglin. Looks good doing it. I've always liked his style. He's got blazing speed at times, but like a good smooth style as well. Gives us some whips and stuff. Most of the 450 guys do. But it's really that he just wasn't relevant in Supercross, and he's come out first 450 moto riding great. Just like you said, though, it's the starts that are haunting him. You've got to be able to get consistent starts to be able to be in a championship fight because you can't be just throwing it out there and 25% of the time you'll be top 5, but the rest you're going to be back in 30th. That's not how you're going to be in a championship battle when these guys are so consistent and so fast. Absolutely.
Eaglin just biding his time through the ruts right there, hanging on the hip of Jacob Hubbard just ahead of him. Hubbard through the finish line, jumped there in P5, 2:07.7, I should say, 2:07 flat for Colby Eaglin. They are gaining on Leclerc up the road just so slightly these last few laps by. Another new fastest lap of the race from Payson Johnson, 2:05.281 out front. And he is cooking up some good speed. Seth Shirley checking in P7 now, just behind these guys. And finally, Shirley's maybe getting a little bit of momentum built. We saw the speed that he put down in the first moto. I believe he actually ended with fastest lap time of the moto, but was down in the 9 position. So this time 7th. I think the Shirley situation thus far this year, and maybe you look at it a little bit different than me, is that the speed is there, but he just crashes a lot, and that's maybe the case of what it's like being a rookie in this 450 class.
I wasn't going to say anything because I saw him start to crash, and I wanted to make sure he saved it before I started talking. I do, honestly, I think that's exactly right, Kellen. I think he was so good in the 250 class. You got to think, yeah, they're running similar lap times, but the speed that you have coming in and out of corners on the 450 is different in this game, just like it is in real life. The bike rides a little bit different. The 450 feels a little bit heavier. It's faster. I mean, you're hitting everything that 10% faster than the 250. And I think there's a little bit of the pressure of him wanting to do good because he's gone out and he basically won his first 450 Supercross that he entered. He was just up there and he knows he's got the speed, but I think it's a little bit of everything, and he fell too much as he goes down by Hubbard right there. In the old mechanics area, Hubbard's going to lose 2 positions right there as Kilian Ortiz is going to get back by him. I think Seth Shirley, though, by the end of the season, I think he figures it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's going to win motos for sure. It's just a case of how consistent can he start getting to be. It's not been the consistency that he would expect out of himself, I'm sure, but he's definitely laying down some good times, man. He is caught right up to the rear fender of Colby Eaglin, just went 2:05.585. That is the second fastest lap of the race behind the 2:05.2 out of Payson Johnson last time by. So, like we said, the speed's there. He's now into 5th and trying to go into 4th place on Eaglin.
I mean, I was going to compare him as well to Seth Carr's first Moto ride, where Seth Carr was pretty much the fastest racer. Logan Leitzel obviously had beat him in lap times, but consistently the fastest racer as he tries to make a move up right here. But he had gone down so many times. Seth Shirley, every time we talked about him, oh, he's getting up into 8th, he went down. Oh, he's getting up here, he goes down. So Seth Shirley, I think right now he's, as we see him pressuring Eaglin, who blows that rut, got kind of caught on the rut inside him. I think Seth is kind of doing exactly what we saw Seth Carr do in the first race. They're just, the Seths are the same. He found his consistency, he got his speed. He didn't have the best start, but I think he's going to ride out through this moto and have probably 1 or 2 more crashes in the moto, whereas the first one he probably had 5 or 6.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he did have a lot of crashes at the midpoint of the race and starting to even out a little bit. Here's Killian Ortiz in 6th, and Castellaneta with that crash out of Eaglin moved back into the top 5, following through with Seth Shirley. So now Shirley's going to set his sights on Leclerc, who's 6 seconds up the road of him. Everybody in the top 4 right now is 206 or lower. 206.1 Johnson, 206.8 out of Lang, 206.1 out of Leclerc, and 205.5 out of Seth Shirley. So we'll see what the times look like this time by. Johnson might be about to put another steamer down, 12 seconds up. And he lays in a 206.6 this time by, so not quite as fast, but still cooking some good laps together.
I've got a hot take.
All right, hit me.
If no one runs a 204, the lap time was a 203 best for the top 2 and a 205 for 3rd place. If no one runs a low 204, mid to low 204 like Payson Johnson or Seth Shirley, those qualifying guys totally cut the track, because there's got to be something, because we've seen almost every round so far in both classes, we've seen actually fastest qualifying times getting broken in the motos, which is really impressive. But this is the first time we haven't even sniffed them. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's like a send line you can do, but there's nothing I can see or think about.
I don't think
to
so.
go 3 seconds a lap faster. Yeah,
and it's not like I used to freaking mark timing gates and cut the track all the time if I was getting a little sketchy back when I was bad. No, when I was good. It was trying to get top 40, okay, not trying to win. But there's got to be something, a little cheeky line. And sometimes, though, you know what it probably is down a downhill, maybe not this one, but that first downhill left-hander from the Thunder Valley sign. It's like, oh, you can go outside these yellow track markers and hold the gas on because you're just missing 3 braking bumps. But in the race, you're weaving in and out of tough blocks, hay bales and stuff, and you can't do it. But nothing crazy, not a big deal. I thought it was funny that this is the first time that we haven't really seen the lap times get beat by anyone.
Want to give a quick shout out. iMoto in chat said that the 14th career overall win was what Logan Leitzel just earned, and that is a new 250 motocross record. Nobody has more than 14 career wins in that class, and Leitzel has now become the all-time leader. So very well done to Leitzel. Didn't get a chance to shout that out when it happened, but wanted to give a little bit of love now. All right, so we're halfway through this race. What do we do for a fun little last dash prediction poll here where you guys can bet those channel points? I was thinking earlier in the race we consider maybe how much does Johnson win by, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion he wins this race. So maybe we switch it up. Do we do who gets the overall win? Leclerc's on it with a 1-3 right now, but T. Lang is on a 2-2. Johnson's on a 5-1. It's kind of a mixed bag.
Johnson can't get better, though, and can't get it. What I would almost do, I think might be fun, is to pick maybe... Who are some of our... who's in 6-7 right now?
We got Ortiz and Colby Eaglin 6th and 7th.
Okay, I was almost thinking, pick an Eaglin, Shirley, Vial, and be like, if they're close, or someone, and be like, let's see, 35, 36. Okay, Vial's way gone. But maybe pick someone and be like, who finishes better out of these two that are currently 1 second apart instead of a lead that's, maybe close to 10. Something like that. I mean, I don't know. We've got a little bit of time to decide, but I think who beats who could be fun, or is there someone kind of far back that we can kind of keep an eye on? Maybe even outside the top 10, or Frank Jackson. What position does he get up to?
Yeah, Frank Jackson 12th.
7 to 10.
Braden Carter's in 15th. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple guys back there you could certainly say, well, what position did they get to? But Carter didn't have a great end of his first moto.
Carter's was bad. Frank Jackson
Yeah.
was good. You can almost do like, does Frank Jackson finish better than 9th or better? 10th to 13th? Or
iMoto
14th
says,
and worse?
iMoto says, what if we just do who gets 5th and then we pick like 3 names in another? Could do
You
that.
could do that. Who's in
5th
yeah,
right
'cause
now.
They're still pretty close too.
5th right now is Jacob Hubbard. Shirley's close.
Shirley, Hubbard, Castellaneta, and Leclerc.
So should we do Castellaneta, Hubbard, Shirley,
Is
Eagland,
there-
other?
I think you need. Can you do 4 another?
You can do 4 another, yeah.
4 another.
Okay.
Because you gotta have another. Unless, can you just cancel it if it's not one of them?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll look this time. But
Well,
we'll leave
we could
another.
do other. Let's just do other. Why not?
Yeah, I just feel. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna do Hubbard. Who else? Hubbard, Castellaneta, Shirley.
4th, 5th, 6th.
Well,
7th.
Hubbard just crashed, so he's now 8th.
Okay, well,
Let's look at this battle for a second. We got Castellaneta right here in 4th. Then let's just do this. We'll do Castellaneta. He's coming up to the mechanics area. I want him to cross the finish line jump, and then we'll do this. So we got Castellaneta coming over the finish line jump. He is literally in 4th place. Then in 5th behind them, that is now Seth Shirley. 6th, Colby Eagland. 7th, Killian Ortiz. And 8th, Hubbard.
I say we just do these 5.
Those 5?
Yeah,
We can do those 5 and
no
another.
other. Do those 5, and then I say if it's not one of them, if somehow it's Leclerc or someone, maybe we just pick who was the top finisher.
Well, we can do another with 5.
5 another? Okay.
Yeah.
I say we do that and
So-
give it like
Shirley,
I would say still give it 2 minutes for people to get their bets in.
Eagland, and who was the other? Castellaneta, Shirley, Eagland, Hubbard, Vial? No, Ortiz was up there. Do we do Vial now because Vial passed Ortiz? Vial, another?
Yeah, was he one of the 5?
Ortiz was in there, but he just
Okay,
crashed.
Yeah. Vial and other.
Okay, so we'll give you guys 2 minutes to determine who gets 5th in this moto. Predictions now up, and you guys can bet your channel points on that.
Bet your bubbles, because that's what they look like. I think that's what they are.
Yeah, they look like bubbles.
They're bubbles. Bet your bubbles. Who gets 5th place? Right now, we have Braden Castellaneta. What's the gap back? Braden Castellaneta is running in 4th. Seth Shirley's in 5th.
Like, let's just look right here. So there's Castellaneta, 4th. There's Shirley in 5th.
Okay.
There's Colby Eagland in 6th.
Okay.
And here's Jacob Hubbard in 7th.
Oh, I'm putting the house on someone.
And we got Vial just now hitting the triple in 8th. So those are the 5 guys that we listed. There's also the other option as well of who gets 5th. A lot of people voting other already.
Which could be Ortiz, who comes up and,
Hubbard
comes
just
up against
yarded
it.
at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, Hubbard dropped back. But I mean, hey guys, there's 10 minutes. There's 15 minutes left in this moto. So this thing, I mean, we're 19 minutes in. There's still 15 minutes left. So this thing can keep going. I mean, yeah, I mean, just because, someone's up in 4th.
Oh, Shirley just yard sailed down into the gully out of 5th place.
He's not in 5th.
So now Eagland is the man who's in 5th, and I see people picking as if like they're going to pick the guy that's in 5th right now, but I don't know if that's a safe bet.
Okay, so I was going to pick Eagland. This is my thinking for all you guys out there with 38 seconds left. I was going to pick Eagland because I thought Shirley and Eagland get Castellaneta. That moves him from 6th to there. But now Shirley's sketchy again. Eagland is now up in 5th, and I think I'm going to go with...
10 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
can't
Who
tell
gets
you.
5th in the moto? We got Hubbard, Castellaneta, Shirley, Eagland, Vial, or other. Those are your options to pick. Only 40 channel points have been laid down on Vial, and it's a 684 to 1 ratio. So
Someone just sprinkled 20. Oh, I gotta go.
running out of time. Haywood trying to put in his bets. We'll let you guys know. And locked in. All right. 12% of you think Hubbard will get 5th. 11 think it's Castellaneta. 9% think it's Shirley. 59% of people think it is the man who is in 5th place right now. This guy right here, Colby Eagland. And then 0%, or really less, just slightly less than 1%, think it's Vial. 9% think it's others. So that was a pretty even split. I mean, most people did go Eagland. But it'll be fun to see how that all shakes down and who gets what.
If you out there don't have a lot of channel points, you're not into it. If I were you, for fun, as we see someone wad themselves, Zemni with 2 eyes put 40 points on Vial to get 5th. And at a 687 to 1 ratio, those 40 points will earn him 27,480. Actually more, because there was a point too. So 27,500 from, that's like hitting a 15-leg parlay. You guys are crazy. Payson ran a 204, not a 204.5 though. Doesn't count.
No, doesn't count.
Under.
Can't say it.
Can't say it.
I think this has been pretty fun how this all shakes down. Let us know in chat if you guys have liked this betting that we do in the middle of the moto. Should we limit it to just doing the whole shot? Should we do moto wins? Like, we're trying to shake it up and be a little bit fun and different with this, and maybe talk about guys throughout the field, because yeah, Payson 7 seconds up. There's not a whole lot to talk about there. Leclerc in position to win the overall on a 1-3. Again, not a lot to talk about right there. But this, you got Castellaneta. There's Eaglin, who's in 5th right now, closing up on him, Shirley. And the thing about it is none of these guys want to get 5th.
No.
There's a chance for them to get 4th or even higher. They want to get there. So it's kind of funny to see where they might end up in this situation. And yeah, can Eaglin stay here? Will he move? We're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, what I think would be cool too is you have a 5-minute timer. I think we could almost do the second 250 races over. If we had a close 1, 2, 3, 4 in the first moto, you could just be like, who wins the overall of the 450 class, you know, after 250 moto 2 or something. And then it'll be up for 35 minutes, but at least we'll give them more time and people can bet more. And then it's like you're sitting there and you're like, oh, okay, what's going on? And you're actually watching points and we're keeping track of overalls between those guys. I think we could also, I mean, there will be times maybe we do it more, we do it less. And we could also get good submissions from people in chat, just like we took this one from iMoto.
Yeah.
As something different and fun, because we've got 8 more rounds to go after this. So
yeah. And there is betting right now, IRL for Moto, but I honestly, even if someone says like, oh, we could do it for Sim and we could go through all the legalities of it, it would just be so much of a headache for not that much money that people would win on Sim bets. So I think it's more fun to do it this way. We'll come up with cool incentives for channel points as well, because like I want to get people involved. I want it to be interesting for you to, like you said, this guy could maybe come out with 27,000 channel points, and if he could at the end of the night spend that and have a shotgun of beer or something by spending 20,000 channel points, you know,
I mean,
whatever, something like that.
I've watched enough Scooty Puff Jr. streams and Hot Tub streams, you know, that he's done with his buddies, that there's some crazy stuff you can get people to do, and I'm open to a lot of things, so shotgun of beer, whatever, might have to do it, you know. We can put some fun things on there for you. We can take some you know, we could look at other channels and find fun things just to get you guys interacting more. And I know you guys come for the racing, but that's the way it is in outdoors. We talk about it. When you get to outdoors, you can be so much more loose. There's so much more time. Sometimes there's a 15-second gap from first to second to third to fourth to fifth. Yep. And that's just the way it is. So what kind of keeps us going is having commentary with you guys in chat, you guys asking questions, you guys having something that you're invested in. And I think it'll be fun. And I know Kellen's got both chats up on his computer so he can see Twitch and YouTube. I've been kind of popping back and forth between them. So, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fun, and we'll get some fun ideas for you guys.
Shotgunning a beer apparently against the terms of services, but whatever. Like, like I said, we'll come up with that.
No, we didn't do that.
We didn't do it because of them. But we didn't do it because of them. We just said everyone's giving us hydrate points, so let's do something fun, and we willingly chose to do it. Like it wasn't like we were forced to do it or whatever. So either way, we'll come up with fun things, like I said. But yeah, back to the moto action. Still not a lot going on. 5 minutes and 2 laps left to go. 7-second lead for Payson Johnson, and he's just kind of cooking along. Not really doing crazy good lap times anymore, but yeah, we'll see how things materialize late in this race. If Lang can get to him, it's for the overall win, so that would be big for the 5 machine. Castellaneta still 4th, Eaglin still 5th, and a pretty big gap back to what's now Vial just getting around Seth Shirley. The teammates swap positions right there. Hubbard's lost toe with this group, so it's really down to 4 people settling it out for the 5th position, which is what our kind of channel point prediction system is all about. So here is Bodie Parker in the 9 spot, and Frank Jackson has crawled into 10th, but he's not really making much progress forward anymore. So tough break for him. 4th in the first moto, had an outside shot for a podium today. Not going to happen, but still having a solid ride. Back to Braden Carter, who's holding on to the 11th position, much better than the first moto for the reigning Supercross champion. Alonzo Robin in 12th, Adam Holm 13th, 14th for Killian Ortiz now. Whoa, we got battles going on here. Joseph Pilsner, Blake O'Brien on each other's heels with Bryce Whelan right behind them. And look at this outside line right now. O'Brien's trying to give it the business to Pilsner. Doolies. Both scrubbed nicely and laid a little whip in there. And O'Brien almost got alongside of him, but didn't quite make the pass yet.
Whoa! Later!
Yards
Blake
it up.
O'Brien just got such a huge kick right there and just completely wads himself. R.I.P.
Oh, man. Tough break. Battles still continue, though. You got a close one here. Carter, Killian Ortiz going at it. And Adam Holm just up the track now making some good progress. He's moved into 12th.
Is this the first motos he's made?
I thought Adam made the motos last week, but I'm not 100% sure. So don't hold me to it.
That gear, okay, not lit kit, but that gear,
we got a lead battle. We have got a lead battle, and it is on heavy. Tyler Lang has caught up to Payson Johnson. Johnson must have made a mistake. He went 2:07.3 last time by. And this is going to be intense to the flag, because if Lang can get him, it's for the overall win, and it's a crucial moto win to stop a little bit more bleeding that Payson Johnson continues to rip away from these guys.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw Tyler Lang go through that flat old mechanics section there, but he was on the rear wheel, wheeling through, absolutely sending it, and you could see this first-person view right now, how much head shake he's getting. It's crazy, mind-blowing to me that some of these riders ride in first person. I was always a third-person guy, but that this is what they see for 35 minutes is all this head shake and bouncing. Like, I can't believe how they even focus, and especially just watching where they're at, and then all the riders and stuff coming up in front of them as they got to get around lap traffic. T-Lang, a lot of lap traffic here. He's got to try to avoid to get onto Payson Johnson, losing a little bit of time, but man, this is what happens when you stay consistent and you don't let him get completely away from you.
Yeah, Payson cleared those two lappers right in front of T-Lang now, so he's got to do the work to get around them. And look, man, they're in a fight for their own battles right now. I think it's Gebhardt and Chase Blakely, if I have it correctly. It looks like one of them is Chase B on the KTM, and I'd have to imagine the other guy who we do not have gear for is Walter Gebhardt. Chase B trying to move aside on the 21 BPC KTM, not out of the way just yet on T-Lang, but now swoops to the outside and might let the 5 machine go. The outside, and yep, lets him go down the inside. Nicely done there. So next up, I think that's Gebhardt just tucked in right behind our race leader, Payson Johnson, trying to latch on, I guess, with Johnson for the lead, but not really going to do much with that, and finally moves aside and lets T-Lang go by and lets our battle continue.
Yeah, I mean, this is just awesome to watch these guys so late in the moto when we see them kind of get together. It's always fun. Just kind of a mano-y-mano thing after so long. These guys been kind of cruising around, and he just hasn't really had sight of him, but just through straight endurance and just kind of holding on there. One big mistake from Payson Johnson, and you're right back in this thing, and this is really all that matters. And now there's going to be actual pressure on Payson, so if he made a mistake before, maybe just getting bored going for lap times, he might even get pressured into a mistake just by having you ride on his tail. So Tyler Lang having a great showing here. Alexis Leclerc only 11 seconds back. A huge bobble by Payson. They make contact.
Oh my gosh, how did they both stay upright as Lang kind of bumped into Johnson and pushed him out, and coming across the line this time by, they are just barely going to miss time. 6 seconds left on the clock, 3 laps to go here at Thunder Valley, and it's for the overall win and the moto win. It's Payson Johnson just trying to get on the box overall, but T-Lang needs this moto win to win the overall here today with Leclerc still in third. And who knows, if these two guys get together, suddenly Leclerc could be knocking on the door of opportunity as Lang gets a little bit sideways coming down the hill.
Yeah, Leclerc was 11.1 seconds last time I saw his name scroll across the top of the screen. So anytime these guys get into a small little battle, they're going to be slowing up and allowing this. Maybe by the end of next lap, we might have a 3-person battle going here between these two. Payson Johnson, though, gaining a little bit of a gap from Tyler Lang after that contact made, and still kind of holding it. Tyler Lang, though, has looked really good in these up and down the hill corners, so hopefully he can gain some time back here. He's more of a slow and steady, wins the race type of guy. Obviously, he's running fast lap times, but not as flashy as Payson Johnson is, but that smooth and consistency is what's kept him here in the race for so long.
Well,
Leclerc down to only 9.7.
I was going to say, I feel like it's two halves of the racetrack. Is a nice save there by T-Lang. I feel like Johnson's better in the first half, and like maybe the downhills Lang's a slightly better, but this section and all the way to the finish is where Lang gained a ton of time last time by. I don't know if Johnson made a big mistake that we just didn't see, but Lang was really good through here before, and let's see if it's another case like that. He's certainly pushing the envelope, and it's making him make a few too many mistakes at the moment. But jumping down into that corner, still just trying to keep it close on Payson just in case. And we have 2 laps to go next time by. So this race is far from over for the overall win, for the Moto win. And boy, oh boy, this could get flipped up on its head real quickly in these last 2 laps.
Yeah, nothing is written in stone. We've seen, we missed the big mistake by Payson Johnson, but we've seen plenty of small ones in that corner right there last lap. Around is what let Tyler Lang get on so close onto his rear wheel, almost make the pass, making contact, and just getting the short end of the stick. I think if he didn't come back into his rut, he would have had the lead easily. Payson Johnson kind of lucked out there. He's got to hold on right now, and he's going back to putting in as fast of a lap as possible. They've got 2 laps left to go, so wondering if he can hold on. We got 1 lapper in between him right now, and Tyler Lang just losing a little bit of time. But this is so deep in the Moto, I can't really take our eyes off this battle here.
Yeah, lap traffic finally moving out of the way very nicely right there. Well done for, I want to give props to the 45 of Ethan Gerst, moving aside, letting not only his teammate Payson Johnson go, but then not impeding T-Lang whatsoever, and that's a smart move, I would say. So back to the action out front. Johnson just trying to get to that inside line every single time. A little bit of a bobble right there. And so Lang is going to gain back just a slight bit of time, 3.2 seconds now. And Johnson coming down the hill, holding it together well, doing a good job of hit his marks. In and out of that rut right there. And then you slowly pan back to Lang, and Lang kind of on his horse again through this section. This is where he went almost down last time by jumping to this double, trying to get to this inside rut. Does a little bit better this time. Johnson through that section much cleaner, though. It seems like he's opened up a slight gap. And it's Johnson, Lang, Leclerc, Castellaneta, Eagland now in 5th.
Dang it. Where's that Shirley at, bro? 9th?
Shirley is down in 9th place.
This guy is washed.
It really does seem like it's Eagland or Castellaneta. Viala's 20 seconds behind Eagland with a lap and a half to go.
I mean, it's crazy that after that pass happened, Castellaneta stayed in 4th and Eagland stayed in 5th after like a minute after this betting closed right there. Man, great ride by Payson Johnson here so far. I don't think Tyler Lang is, with the speed he has and how fast Payson Johnson is going right now, makes a mistake, pushes over that berm, almost loses it right there in that same corner. We saw him make a mistake in earlier, but with 1 lap to go in this race, I don't think it's close enough without Payson having a mistake. Another small bobble right there, though, and all those tenths matter.
Yeah, this is going to be all the way down to the checkered flag here on the final lap for Payson Johnson, trying to win another moto here to kick off the season and extend his championship lead a little bit back out after a tough first moto. And here we go, T-Lang up the hill, drag racing to the inside line. Still 3.2 seconds back, 209.5, 208.5 last time by for Johnson. Laying it down, and Leclerc has crashed, so he is not going to factor in this fight whatsoever. It's down to whether Johnson keeps it on 2 wheels, or will he make a mistake and hand this over to Lang?
Yeah, I mean, it's all up to him. I mean, he's still got elite speed, obviously slowed down from his best lap pace of 204, but to a 208.5. This track is still very fast. I mean, last lap, or in the last moto, I think they were mostly sitting around like 207s. Weren't really pushing that hard, or maybe that was the 250 class. Either way, 208 is still elite pace this late in the moto. You can see how deep and how rough and ruddy this stuff is. Almost going over, having to slow up. So just one small mistake in these ruts can be the end of it for him. Only 1.9 seconds ahead. That's a pretty good lead for if you're Payson Johnson. You don't really have pressure behind. Whoa, 1.4 seconds to Tyler Lang.
Lang is
Tyler
cooking
Lang
it
was
up.
shredding.
Dude, he ripped up to behind Payson Johnson because we were on board with Johnson. It wasn't like Johnson made any big mistakes. What a save, though, by Lang. That was almost completely unglued from the seat right there as he swapped through that corner. And now Johnson has a little bit more breathing room, but Lang is going to push him all the way to the end. It is the final lap, and there's no chance that if Lane goes down, someone will pass him. So he can throw caution to the wind right here and make Johnson work for this all the way to the end. He is flying into these corners, pushing the front end, almost going over those ruts. Now they're working through these ruts. And remember, if he stays close enough, maybe penalties come into play. And he goes down as I say that over the ruts. And that is going to give it over to this man. Second moto, he comes back from a 5th. And it's redemption time at Thunder Valley. Payson Johnson takes 450 Moto 2 here at Thunder Valley. This man, Tyler Lang, is going to cross the line in second, and it will be for second overall, 2-2 on the day. Tough break, almost had the moto win, but this is going to be your overall winner. First in the first moto, third in the second. Alexis Leclerc, your 2024 Thunder Valley National winner.
I mean, he had to push. I mean, all he could do is try to go up and get there. Whoa, is Colby Eaglin now in 4th? Braden Castaneda's down to 5th.
Man.
This is for the bet at the end. Everyone in chat asking for Eaglin to go down. It's like Pulp Fantasy. We're getting toxic in chat here. Braden Castaneda takes it home. So, wow, Rocket Skates in chat happy about that one. All these guys, not sure where they ended up in the overalls. We do know that Eaglin came back in the first moto to a great finish. Castaneda was up there inside the top 10. Jacob Hubbard with a rough second moto here, just kind of faded back. Man, look at all these guys in chat. I love this betting. It keeps them all into the racing so much, and it's not betting any real money, right? It's just fun. We're
It's
just
all
doing
fun,
some channel
yeah.
points, and we'll get some stuff for you to redeem them. So really fun to put your bubbles where your mouth is.
Yep. So Hubbard crosses in 6th, 33 seconds down. He failed all of you, all 12% of you that voted for him. Pablo Vial coming to the line will cross in 7th. And 8th place will be Braden Carter by the looks of it. 9th for Bodie Parker and 10th for Killiam Ortiz. So 11-10 day for Killiam Ortiz. Had a pretty strong showing. Alonzo Robin, Frank Jackson just went down in a dogfight with Seth Shirley, who is in now 12th. Right behind Alonzo Robin coming to the line, so that's not over yet either.
Great ride for Alonso, though. I mean, he's been pushing. Look at Seth Shirley ripping up behind him, trying to make a move up the inside, and he gets it!
And he puts him off the track, and Robin goes down. Over the bars, he's going to lose like 5 positions because everybody was that close.
Hey, pro tip, you can jump through the finish line backwards. Get up and go.
Oh, he gets on and gets 15th. It was a battle for 11th, and Alonzo Robin ends up in 15th. You hate to see it. Blake O'Brien, 16th. 17th, Joseph Pilsner. D. Davis, 18th. 19th for Bryce Whelan, and 20th was Chase Blakely. 21st for Kyle Boardman. Wow.
Not having stop wheelies on and grabbing front brake and going over the bars is crazy. Oh, you can't do that, dude.
You can't have that.
Oh, what an
my
epic
goodness.
finish. What a complete, honestly, we talked about it earlier. This is bad news. Complete fade by Seth Shirley. I think the 450 class is just getting to him, but I think we'll see some great rides from him. Frank Jackson with a great first race. Really just not unable to bring it around in Moto 2, but I mean, shout out to all the guys. Top 5, Castaneda.
Yeah, Castaneda confirmed as 5th, so we'll pick him. And I think the big winner from that then...
Nut 134.
Yeah,
He
so
bet 2K at 9-1 odds.
2K, so 18,000 channel points for Nut.
Nutting all over these
134,
guys.
dude, just crushing it, dude. So Castaneda gets 5th in the moto. The overall win goes to Alexis Leclerc. He's already disconnected from the server. And that will do it tonight here at Thunder Valley. Let's just jump back to the intermission screen real quick. Edward's leaning forward. He's not even on camera. Sorry. Webcam screen is what I meant to go
Intermission.
to.
There we go. This is the
all right.
final cam.
That is Thunder Valley done and dusted. Yeah, man, I felt like it was a lot of fun with the predictions tonight and getting people involved in the chat and picking random ones as well. So it wasn't just the winners every time and stuff like that. It was cool.
You know what's crazy is I think it's perfect timing because I think this was our first round that was just like kind of had some boring races.
Yeah.
Where there wasn't like action. Like we maybe for 10 minutes of another moto was like, okay, we kind of, this is everything. This was able to bring those boring points so everyone on Twitch could kind of collaborate and have some fun, have something to root for when we're kind of just killing time because sometimes it seems like a foregone conclusion. We waited 15 minutes for Tyler Lane to get back up to Jason Johnson. So I mean, it's awesome. That was great racing, great track. Always love it. Can't wait for High Point.
Yeah, I can't wait for High Point. Going to be on same time, same place next week. We'll hope you guys will join us there for the High Point National. Big shout out to the Race Factory Gaming track crew and RaceFactoryGaming.com for putting on another fantastic race for us here. Whoa, Jesus Christ, my entire chat just like went crazy over here. You see, like, I don't understand this. Like, I had so many YouTube chats that finally just came through. Anyway, so big shout out to everyone who tuned in. Thanks so much for the donations. We got the super chat from JJ136, the 608 from Nathan Zaworski as well. Thank you guys so much for the support. All the people that hung out with the channel points tonight. And yeah, I'm going to chat with A-Wood right now about some good ideas that we can do for channel points, and then we'll be back next week with some fun stuff at High Point. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to round 3 of the RaceFactory Gaming National Championship live here on Star Your Systems TV. Yeah, the people on YouTube, the people on Twitch, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week at High Point. So long for now.
Oh, yeah?